Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. I have been going through old episodes. I just hear the first 5 or 10 seconds because I'm prepping them to put onto YouTube in chunks of 10. So if you, well, you're already listening to this, so be why would you change your platform? Anyway, you may like to listen to podcasts on YouTube for some reason, so you can go do that. I just started the bees. By the time this episode airs, maybe I will have finished putting the bees up on YouTube, and then I can start on the C's, and then I'll get caught up eventually. But it was just kind of fun to hear the beginnings of all of these episodes because I have to listen to them to make sure all the audio is level correctly and they're not too loud and not too soft. But I was saying things like, "Welcome to the podcast, the only podcast in the world where somebody's reading the dictionary, some idiot, and it's me." And I mean, it's all still true, but it was just funny how things have evolved. Okay. First word. First word for this episode is consubstantiation. 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 Noun from 1597. The actual substantial presence and combination of the body and blood of Christ with the Eucharistic bread and wine, according to a teaching associated with Martin Luther. That is the old-timey Martin Luther, not the Martin Luther King that many of us think of. Compared to the word transubstantiation, it would be transubstantiation. There's only one S there at the beginning. I don't know anything about this, and I think it's interesting that the word the actual substantial presence. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I got my thoughts. Okay, sound effect for this episode. It's gonna be wow, wow, wow. Just because I did that sound and I liked it, so I'm using it. Okay, the next word is consuetude. Consuetude or consuetude. 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 Noun from the 14th century. Social usage. Synonym is custom. Consuetudinary. Consuetudinary. That is an adjective. I'm still not sure what this is. I would love an example. Social usage. Custom. Like the customs of a society? Is that what they're talking about? I don't know. Consuetude. Okay. Wow, wow, wow. Next word is consul. consul. Noun from the 14th century. 1A. Either of two annually elected chief magistrates of the Roman Republic. 1B. One of three chief magistrates of the French Republic from 1799 to 1804. Only 5 years. 2. An official appointed by a government to reside in a foreign country to represent the commercial interests of citizens of the appointing country. Consular with an AR is an adjective, and consulship is a noun. It's perhaps akin to the Latin. Why would they say perhaps? I mean, it seems pretty obvious to me. Consulere, and that means to consult. So they like to consult on things. Wow, wow, wow. Next word is consulate. So we added an ATE at the end of the previous word. Noun from the 14th century. 1. A government by consuls. And that is, of course, all those chief magistrates and officials and them. Number 2. The office, term of office, or jurisdiction of a consul. And 3. The residence of official premises of a consul. The residence of official premises of a consul. It's a little hard to read, especially because it goes over to the second line. Next word, wow, wow, wow. It is consulate general, and the plural would be consulates general. 2 words, noun from 1865, the residence, office, or jurisdiction of a consul general. But what is a consul general? Wow, wow, wow. Consul general, and again, the plural would be consuls general. Noun from 1753, a consul of the first rank stationed in an important place or having jurisdiction in several places or over several consuls. Wow, wow, wow. Next word is consult. First form, verb from 1527, starting with transitive. 1. To have regard to. Synonym is consider. You have to consider other people's feelings sometimes. But would we say consult? You're not going to consult. I mean, technically it's accurate, but more normally, at least when I think of the word consult, I don't think of it used in that way. 2a, to ask the advice or opinion of, as in consult a doctor. We have lots of things that we have to consult a doctor with. We all have our issues, our physical things, our mental things. The doctors, they've been trained up to learn about those things and to help you out. They know stuff. 2b, to refer to, as in, consult a dictionary. I think the writers of the dictionary will take any excuse, any opportunity they can to put in an example relating to the dictionary. I love it. You got to consult a dictionary if you don't know the definition of something. And then that sounded very Italian. I just read it. Okay, where were we? Now we are on intransitive for consult. 1. To consult an individual. 2. To deliberate together, and the synonym is confer. 3. To serve as a consultant. Consultor is a noun. Let's see. Let's look at the etymology from the Latin consultare, which is from consulere, which means to deliberate, counsel, or consult. Next word, wow. It is the second form of so it's you can pronounce it both ways, consult or consult. Noun from 1560. It's just the synonym consultation, which is coming up. Next word, wow. I have to change it up to keep it interesting for myself, because I'm probably the only one listening. It is the word consultancy. Noun from 1955. 1. The synonym is consultation again. 2. An agency that provides consulting services. 3. The position of a consultant. A consultant is working at a consultancy in their consultancy position, and they're doing some consultations, I think. Is that right? I got it. Next word, wow. It is consultant. Noun from 1697. I don't think I can be a consultant on really much anything. You know, I can maybe help out on some things, but if you really want some information, you have to go to an expert. Okay, number 1, one who consults another. 2, one who gives professional advice or services. Synonym is expert. Yeah, I'm no expert. Consultantship. Consultantship is a noun. Okay, I think that's good. Next word, wow. It is consultation. Noun from the 15th century. Let's get some free consultations. I think that would be a fun thing to do, wouldn't it? No, it wouldn't be fun. Just take all of the free consultations you can, but don't use them. Don't use any of them. Just see how much stuff you can get for free. Just free consultations. Okay. 1. Synonyms are counsel and conference. Specifically, a deliberation between physicians on a case or its treatment. They are consulting each other. They're having a consultation. They're talking about what the plan is, what is going on, what needs to be done. It's a consultation. And number 2, the act of consulting or conferring. Yeah, but there's no etymology. Next word, wow. It is consultative or consultative. Consultative, consultative. Adjective from 1583. of, relating to, or intended for consultation. Synonym is advisory, as in a consultative committee. Also as in a consultative document. I wanted to say the word in both ways. I think I did. I'm not sure. Next word, wow, wow, wow. It is consulting. Adjective from 1801. 1. Providing professional or expert advice, as in a consulting architect. 2. Of or relating to consultation or a consultant, as in the consulting room of a psychiatrist. They've got one room where they do all of their consulting. This word sounds bonkers. Next word, wow, wow, wow. Consultative. Consultative. Adjective from 1616. Synonym is consultative. And we read that. Wow, wow, wow. Next word, consultor, with an OR at the end. Noun from the 1520. I am the consultor. One who consults or advises, especially an advisor to a Roman Catholic bishop, provincial, or sacred congregation. It's their whole job just to consult on things, probably religious matters. And our last word, wow, wow, wow. It is consumable. We have two forms, CONSUMABLE, adjective from 1641. This, of course, is the first form, because I don't go out of order. Capable of being consumed, as in consumable goods. I like the foods that are consumable, because I don't like the ones that are not consumable. And our very last word, wow, wow, wow. Second form of consumable, noun from 1802, something, as food or fuel, that is consumable, and this is usually used in plural, consumables. How are those different? One was an adjective, yes, one was a noun. So the consumable food is consumable. Consumable. Okay, the words in this episode were consubstantiation, consuetude, consul, consulate, consulate general, consul general, consult, consult, consultancy, consultant, consultation, consultative, consulting, consultive, consulter, and consumable. Let's pick. Let us pick consultation as the word of the episode. I don't know why. We all need some consultations because we need help on things that we don't know about. Maybe it's your taxes. Maybe it's your physical health. Maybe it's electronics. I am sort of going to be a consultant when I go over to my parents' house later today because there's a live streaming It's a Wonderful Life thing on tonight. And, you're in January. I'm in December. So I'm going to consult my mom to help her remember how to plug in the computer into the TV because it's very difficult for some people, and that's okay. Not everybody has that knowledge. Okay, so what was my word? I don't remember. Consultation? Was that it? I think so. If it's not, it is now. Consultation, I'm going for a consultation. Oh, I'm so excited for this consultation. If anybody would like to sample these songs and put them in a song, that would be fun. I just need a credit and a cut of the profits. Okay, so holidays today. In Harbin, China, it is Harbin International Ice and Snow Sculpture Festival. In Japan, it is Jomashinji. In the U.S., it is National Bird Day. It is the final day of the 12 days of Christmas, 12th night of Christmas. Okay, let us check this page. National Screenwriters Day. So, first of all, you can go write a screenplay and become a screenwriter, and hopefully you can sell it and maybe it'll get made. Fun holidays. National Keto Day. That is Keto. I think it is now because it's the beginning of the year, and as we said before, this is the time when people like to get in shape and lose weight and stuff like that. So this is what I've heard about keto, the keto diet. It is often voted as one of the worst, or is the worst diet for you. Obviously, everybody's bodies are different, so everybody needs a little bit different things. But overall, I think you're meant to not stay on this diet for a significant period of time, from what I've heard. That you can do things, you can change your diet to get into keto and you will lose a bunch of weight. And I think it's a good starter. I think that's what I've heard. You can maybe do it for a month or 2 months or even maybe 6 months or something. But after that, once you've lost it, it's kind of hard to pick it back up again or keep it going in a sustained way. So then at that point, I think you probably want to change to a different diet. And you got to find what diet is good for you. The Mediterranean diet is considered, I think, one of the best ones. Yeah, so, do your thing. Just do your thing. You can do whatever you want to do. I like on this page for National Screenwriters Day, it shows the Chicago Theater. And I've been there many times and seen people perform, and it's great. National Whipped Cream Day. Woo-wee. Let's have some whipped cream. And then lastly, let's check this page, and that's it. It's Bird Day, Keto Day, Screenwriters Day, Whipped Cream Day. Eat some whipped cream, which is probably not keto, while eating keto food, writing a screenplay about birds. Boom, did it, done. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. I wish I could find other things that rhyme with those. Word nerds. Bird turds is the only other thing that I can think of right off the bat, and I think that's pretty funny. I hope you don't get no bird turds on your head. I had a bird turd on my head. It was like my 8th birthday or something like that. A bird pooped on my head. That was fun. Okay, let's do the words. Oh, we need a sound effect, and wiki. I don't know where these are coming from. It's similar but different to yesterday's. Okay, the first word is consume. Consume. We must consume all of the things, all of the foods, all of the shows, all of the musics. This is a verb from the 14th century, starting with transitive. 1. To do away with completely. Synonym is destroy, as in fire consumed several buildings. I mean, I see what they're saying here, why it means to do away with completely, but I guess when I think of fire consuming something, I guess I just think of it as like just eating it, just surrounding it. I don't know. I guess I had the wrong definition in my head. The dictionary is always right. Number 2A, to spend wastefully. Synonym is squander. You're squandering away your paycheck on the wasteful things. Consume? Is that really how you would use that word? I guess so. 2B, synonym is use up, as in writing consumed much of his time. Work consumes much of my time. This podcast consumes a bit of my time. There's other things, but work is the biggest one. Sleep consumes a third of my time. 3A, to eat or drink, especially in great quantity, as in consumed several bags of pretzels. That sounds, part of me likes it, and part of me does not like it. How big are these bags of pretzels? If they're little bags, that's, it's still a lot of pretzels, but that's not as bad as, large bags. I could eat maybe one full bag of pretzels, but several? Okay, 3B, to enjoy avidly. Synonym is devour, as in mysteries which she consumes for fun. That is a quote from E.R. Lipson. Yeah. Are there any shows? Why are we talking about this in this way? I don't know. Let's just move on to number 4. To engage fully. Synonym is engross, as in consumed with curiosity. 5. To utilize as a customer, as in consume goods and services. There's so many goods and services that we can consume as a customer. And then intransitive, number 1, to waste or burn away. Synonym is perish. The fire is consuming the consumed building. Number 2, to utilize economic goods. The etymology says this is from the Latin verb consumere, which is from com plus sumere, which means to take up or take. That one gets divided up even more into sub, which means up, plus emere, which means to take, and there's more at the prefix sub and the word redeem. So they combine the prefix, I think it would be pronounced sub plus the verb emere, so emere means to take, sub means up, so you combine them and it becomes sumere with an M, and that's to take up, and then they added com, which became consumere. It doesn't say what consumere means, but I assume it's consume, probably. I don't know. Okay, that was a long one. Moving on to wiki. Wait, is that what I said? I don't know. Consumedly, adverb from 1707. It just means as if consumed. As if consumed. The synonym is excessively, as in a baby granddaughter in whom to be consumedly interested. What? This is a quote from A.N. Wilson. A baby granddaughter in whom to be consumedly interested. As if consumed is the definition. I am super confused. I apologize that I cannot give you more context or a better explainer on this. Next word. I didn't mean to make like a DJ scratching sound, but I think that's what it ended up being. Wiki. Next word is consumer, noun from the 15th century, one that consumes. So that's the whole definition, but then we have an A and a B. A, one that utilizes economic goods. And B, get ready, an organism requiring complex organic compounds for food, which it obtains by preying on other organisms or by eating particles of organic matter. And compared to the number 3 definition for the word producer. So one thing maybe produces organic matter, and then the consumer consumes the organic matter. I'm a consumer. I don't think I produce any. Well, technically, I would be a producer of organic matter if somebody were to eat me. I'm made of meat, just like we all are made of meat and blood and skin and fat and tissues and things. So I'm a producer, and if I were to eat the things that I produce, I would be a consumer. I consume other things. I consume plants, mostly. Plants, things that grow. Let's put it that way. Consumership is a noun. Okay, wiki. Next word is consumer credit. 2 words, noun from 1927. Credit granted to an individual, especially to finance the purchase of consumer goods or to defray personal expenses. Credit granted to an individual, especially to finance the purchase. So you're giving them money or the equivalent of money so they can get consumer goods, I guess. Yeah, sure. Okay. Oh, what are consumer goods? Wiki. It is consumer goods, 2 words, noun from 1890. Goods that directly satisfy human wants. What are human wants? It doesn't say human needs. It's just human wants. But don't you think that that human needs would be incorporated into consumer goods? Do they have to be wants? Can they not be needs? I go to the store and I buy the food that I need. Would those not be consumer goods? They're goods that are being consumed by the consumer. I don't know. Okay, next word. Wiki. It is consumerism. Noun from 1944. 1. The promotion of the consumer's interests. The promotion of the consumer's interests. 2. The theory that an increasing consumption of goods is economically desirable. Also, a preoccupation with and an inclination toward the buying of consumer goods. Well, there's a lot there. The theory that an increasing consumption of goods is economically desirable. So people abide by this theory that you buy more stuff, consume more things, and that's good for the economy. And then also a preoccupation with and an inclination toward the buying of consumer goods. Yeah, just the idea of, just leaning towards just buying lots of stuff. Consumerist is a noun or an adjective, and consumeristic is an adjective. How do I feel about consumerism? I don't know. There's a lot there. Okay. I've tried to be a little bit more accurate. I don't know how accurate that is, but it doesn't really matter. It's just for fun. It is Consumer Price Index. That's our next one. 3 words. Noun from 1948. An index measuring the change in the cost of typical wage earner purchases of goods and services expressed as a percentage of the cost of those same goods and services in some base period. Called also Cost of Living Index. Do I want to read it again? An index measuring the change in the cost of typical wage earner purchases of goods and services expressed as a percentage of the cost of these same goods and services in some base period. So is it comparing the cost of things from one time to another? Something like that. Okay, next word. Consuming. Consuming. I am consuming all the information in this book and then promptly forgetting it all. Adjective from 1905. Deeply felt. Synonym is ardent, as in a consuming interest. Also, the synonym engrossing. I feel so deeply about these things that I'm consuming. Okay, next word. Okay, we're changing up the topic. We talked about lots of consuming things. Now we are on consummate. CONSUMMATE. Very much a different topic and more on the adult side. You could also pronounce it consummate. No, consummate. Consummate? That's how people say it? Consummate? Maybe it's consummate, but still, I've never heard that. Consummate, there we go. It's consummate because this is the first form, and then you can also say consummate. Adjective from 1527. 1. Complete in every detail. Okay, so this part is not the adult one that I was thinking of. I think that's maybe later. Unless I'm... Nope, I'm right. Okay, so... number 1 was complete in every detail, and the synonym is perfect. Yes. I am remembering this word in my brain. The consummate professional, they are perfect in every way. Okay, number 2, extremely skilled and accomplished, as in a consummate liar. They're very good at lying. They're consummate. Also as in a consummate professional. Number 3, of the highest degree, as in consummate skill. Also as in consummate cruelty. The highest degree of cruelty? I do not like that. Any cruelty is not good. Consummately is an adverb, and this is from the Middle English word consumat, which means fulfilled. Also from the Latin consummatus, the verb consumare, which means to sum up or finish. Yeah, that's good for that. Wiki. Next word is the second form of this, but it is pronounced consummate. It is a verb from 1530, starting with transitive. 1a, the synonyms are finish and complete, as in consummate a business deal. It has been completed, so it was consummated. 1B, to make perfect. Now here's the thing about back to that the business deal and all that stuff. If people were to say, let's consummate this business deal, most people would not think of it, they would only think of it in the sexual way, which is what we're going to get to. That's what I would think of it. I guess there are people maybe who are very much in the business deals world, and maybe they say it all the time, but I don't think they mean it in the sexual way. But most people, I think, would think of it that way. Okay, so 1B means to make perfect. That goes to the previous word. Perfect, consummate. You can consummate something to make it perfect, so then it has become a consummate, I think. Okay, 1C, the synonym is achieve. Number 2, to make complete by sexual intercourse. So yeah, it's similar to that 1A1, which was finish and complete, consummating a business deal. But in this case, it's a sexual intercourse, and the thing that you are making complete would be a marital union. So this is, I think, more of an old school situation where they were expecting that people were virgins when they got married, and so to finish up the marriage, the wedding, they would have to consummate it with sexual intercourse. So they were finally actually married. They had their marital union. Yes, we have an example. Consummate a marriage. Okay, so those were transitive. Now we have intransitive, just the one, to become perfected. If something has been perfected, it has been consummated, and it is a consummate, perfected thing. Consummative, is that how you say the word? Consummative or consummative, that is an adjective, and consummator is a noun. Okay, next word, wiki. It is consummation, noun from the 14th century, 1, the act of consummating, as in the consummation of a contract by mutual signature. Specifically, the consummating of a marriage is the consummation. And then the marriage has become perfected. Number 2, the ultimate end. Synonym is finish. And our last word, I should have ended on that one. Nah. Our last word, wiki. It is the word consummatory. See, this sound effect thing is sometimes just an excuse to make more musics and sounds for fun. Consummatory. Or is it, I think it's just consummatory. It shows the, the schwa sound, the upside down E in the pronunciation guide, so I keep on thinking E, but no, it's an Consummatory. CONSUMMATORY. Adjective from 1648. 1, of or relating to consummation. And the synonym is concluding. 2, of, relating to, or being a response or act. Oh, wait, there's more. Okay. I saw parentheses, so I thought that was it. Of, relating to, or being a response or act that terminates a period of usually goal-directed behavior. And the example of what the response or act could be is eating or copulating. Of relating to or being a response or act as eating or copulating. Let's incorporate that in there. Of, relating to, or being the act of eating or copulating that terminates a period of usually goal-directed behavior. I don't know. Consummatory, that's that word. Okay, the words today were consume, consumedly, consumer, consumer credit, consumer goods, consumerism, consumer price index, consuming, consummate, consummate, consummation, consummatory, and that's it. Oh boy, this is hard. I mean, consummation is a thing that, well, no, see that it's just I was going to say it's the thing that has made every living thing appear in the world. Two people consummated their relationship, but that doesn't always make kids. And it's also more just like finishing up a thing. I don't know. I think so. This is one of those where I pick the opposite. I'm going to pick consumerism as the word of the episode. Um, I just feel like I'm sure I've talked about this before. I look at the movie Wall-E, and Wall-E shows a possible world where we were just engulfed in consumerism, and there was this one big company that basically took over the world and became like the one company that everything had to be done with, and there was no thought towards nature and growing food and all that stuff. The earth became a complete wasteland. There were buildings everywhere and trash everywhere, which then, of course, the trash buildings became even bigger than the regular buildings, and the planet became uninhabitable. And this is the path that I see that we are on, and I don't like it. And I'm not going to live to see that, probably, but I don't want people to have to go through this and deal with it. And I think that we are going real far into the consumerism world of things, and it's really hard to not do that. We do that too. We buy stuff from Amazon often, and we try not to. We try and buy local, but sometimes you just have to. You don't just have to, but it's just easier. It's just easier to be consumers and all that. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, isn't it? So I don't know. Just try to be better. Try to buy local. Try to make things. Try to buy from other places, so it's not just one place that's controlling everything. Yeah. Consumerism. It is. Wait, I'm going to read it. It is the theory that an increasing consumption of goods is economically desirable. Okay, let's talk about the holidays. January 6th, happy anniversary, parents. In Iraq, it is Armed Forces Day. So it says Christmas. It's not Christmas. What's happening here? Other cultures are celebrating Christmas today, I think. So specifically, Armenian Apostolic Church has Christmas. Russia has Christmas Eve. Ukraine has Christmas Eve. Also Bosnia and Herzegovina and North Macedonia. So are they celebrating those last five? Are they celebrating Christmas tomorrow? And why is Christmas at a different time for them? I'm so confused. Why is it like this? I mean, that's fine. I don't care. People can celebrate things whenever they want to celebrate things. I'm just so confused by it. It is Epiphany. I think this is a big Christian, Catholic something thing. It's also called Three Kings' Day or Theophany. Three Kings' Day in Western Christianity and Theophany in Eastern Christianity. And relatedly, in Italy, we have Befana Day. And in Ireland, Little Christmas. And in Iceland, how do you pronounce that character? Is it a no, I think it's a Fretandin? Pretandin? I don't know. Iceland, your language is rough, but you're a beautiful country. That's their motto. In Laos, it is Pathet Lao Day. Pathet Lao Day. On this page, it says we have nothing new, fun holidays, Apple Tree Day. Bean Day. Yeah, like the beans that you eat. Cuddle Up Day. It's a good day to cuddle up. It shows a picture of a cat. Cuddle up with your cat. If you don't have a cat, cuddle up with something else. National Shortbread Day. National Take a Poet to Lunch Day. If you don't know any poets, or if you just write a poem and then you'll be a poet and then have somebody take you to lunch. National Take Down the Christmas Tree Day. National Technology Day. Technology has helped us be better consumers. World Day for War Orphans. That's a sad topic. There are lots and lots of war orphans throughout the world, throughout time, and today is a day that you can be aware of that and think of that for all over the world. Let's see. Anything else? So, lastly, it's National Smith Day, and on this page they show a picture of the Smiths. If I say the Smiths, do you know who I'm talking about? You probably have an idea. Yes, it's Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith and their kids. Smith is the most common name in the English language, the most common last name, I should say, and and that's, I don't know why, it just is. Anytime you want a generic last name, you just say Smith. There's that. Also, the Smiths, the family, the Smiths, they seem pretty awesome. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information so you can consume it. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. It is my podcast where I say the things in the book, and let's just say quickly all the pluggy things. If you want to contact me, social media, Twitter and Instagram is at dictionarypod. All this information is in the show notes. You can join the Patreon. You can call my Google Voice number and leave a message, and I would like to hear what you have to say. You can write a review on your preferred podcast platform, which if you have access to Apple, go ahead and do it there. If you're listening to this on YouTube, although you won't be for a long time, you can write a comment and like the button, subscribe and share it. You can share this thing on all the things and the places and the stuffs, and tell people about it. Okay, end of page 268. We're going to have a couple of lines on 269. The first word is consumption. Consumption, noun from the 14th century. 1a, a progressive wasting away of the body, especially from pulmonary tuberculosis. Yes, back in the day mostly, but even still a little bit today, they would call tuberculosis consumption. That was the name of that disease. And then I think later I would assume later they changed it to tuberculosis or pulmonary tuberculosis because that's a more scientifically accurate name. And I always wondered, why did they call it consumption? What did that mean exactly? But here, very specifically, we have the fact that it wastes away your body. So I didn't know what happens to your body when you have tuberculosis, but I guess it wastes away in some form. So your body is being consumed. Okay, 1b, it is just the synonym tuberculosis. 2a, the act or process of consuming, as in consumption of food, also as in consumption of resources. We are doing lots of consumption of resources like fossil fuels and water. Water is a big one. So we need to do things in a renewable way. Okay. 2b, use by or exposure to a particular group or audience, as in the document was not intended for public consumption. Oops, it got let out. And 3, the utilization of economic goods in the satisfaction of wants or in the process of production resulting chiefly in their destruction, deterioration, or transformation. Not much for the etymology. Consumption. Okay, our next word. Oh, and I made a sound effect before I recorded, and I'm trying to remember what it was. It was like... No, that was not it. It was a good one, too. Wait, what happened to it? Oh, it's gone. It's just gone. It was like a little beepy, high-pitched... Yeah, we'll do that. I don't know what that is. Okay, consumptive. First form, adjective from 1647. 1, tending to consume. 2, of, relating to, or affected with consumption. Consumptively is an adverb. Next word. It is the second form of consumptive, noun from 1666, a person affected with consumption. Next word. It's nowhere near as good as the one that I made before. What did I do? It was. I can't do it. I can't do it. Maybe someday it'll come back. Okay, so this next word is CONT. It is an abbreviation for 1. Containing, 2. Contents, 3. Continent, 4. Continental, breakfast, 5. Continued, and 6. Control. Next word. It's a weird sound effect. It is the first form of contact. Contact. 3, 2, 1, contact. It is a noun from 1626. 1A, union or junction of surfaces. A wall meets a floor, and that is contact. They have made contact. 1B, the apparent touching or mutual tangency of the limbs of two celestial bodies, or of the disk of one body with the shadow of another during an eclipse, transit, or occultation. There's a lot in there. Contact. So the things, the shadows and the arms of the celestial bodies, it's all about things in the sky. 1C1, the junction of two electrical conductors through which a current passes. Yeah, they have made contact. They have contacted. That's not. They have made contact so that the electricity can flow through. Okay, 1C2, a special part made for a junction. 2A, synonyms are association and relationship. 2B, synonyms are connection and communication. Communication. 2C, an establishing of communication with someone or an observing or receiving of a significant signal from a person or object, as in radar contact with Mars. Woohoo! We have made radar contact with Mars. We have contact with our robots on Mars most of the time, and we're getting information. We're getting photos and other things from them, and it's fun to see how that evolves. I think have we gotten video and sound, and anyway, we don't need to talk about that anymore. And then number 3, a person serving as a go-between, messenger, connection, or source of special information, as in business contacts. Our phones are full of contacts, people that we probably have never talked to or will never talk to again. And number 4, the synonym is contact lens. Do people just call them, you just say your contacts. The etymology says it is from the Latin verb contingere, that means to have contact with. And there's more at the word contingent. Second form of contact, you can emphasize either syllable, contact. It is a verb from 1834, starting with intransitive, which is just to make contact. And then transitive is 1, to bring into contact. 2A, to enter or be in contact with, and the synonym is join. Come over here, contact with us. 2B, to get in communication with, as in contact your local dealer. So you can go buy a car or something that is being dealt. Okay, and we have some usage information. It says, the use of contact as a verb, especially in sense 2B, which says to get in communication with, that is accepted as standard by almost all commentators, except those who write college handbooks. Almost all commentators? Okay, fine. Thank you. I appreciate that. That is very specific. Why do college handbook writers not accept that? I don't know. Okay, next word. It is the third form of contact, adjective from 1859, maintaining, involving, or activated, or caused by contact, as in 3 examples: contact poisons, contact sports, that's very hard on the brain, and contact dermatitis. So contact poisons, you have to come in contact with them, I guess, to be affected. Contact sports, of course, is where people are actively being contacted with each other. They're contacting. Is that how you say those words? They're hitting each other. Unlike, basketball isn't technically a contact sport. Ping pong shouldn't be a contact sport, but that would be fun if it were. And then, of course, contact dermatitis. I'm guessing that's some sort of dermatitis where you have to come in contact with a thing. All right, next word. It is contact binary. 2 words, noun from 1952. A binary star system in which the 2 stars are close enough together for material to pass between them. So we do not have a binary star system here in our solar system, the one that we are familiar with. But many solar systems out there in the universe are actually binary star systems, and they've got 2 stars that rotate around each other usually, and in some cases, I guess they're close enough where material is passed between them because of the gravity. Contact binary. Okay, that's a fascinating thing. Next word. It is contact hitter. 2 words, noun from 1982. A hitter in baseball who seldom strikes out. That means they often make contact with the ball and the bat. Okay, next. It is contact inhibition. 2 words, noun from 1965. Cessation of cellular movement, growth, and division upon contact with other cells. The contact has been inhibited, I think. Next word. Contact language. 2 words, noun from 1950. It is just the synonym pidgin, which is spelled Pidgin. And I think I've heard this. It's like pidgin language or pidgin form of language or something like that. I don't really remember the details, but I guess it's a contact language. Why? Do you have to be in contact with people when you're saying it? Do you have to touch their arm? Do you have to... Why is it a contact language? I don't understand this. Okay, next. It is contact lens. 2 words, noun from 1888. A thin lens designed to fit over the cornea and usually worn to correct defects in vision. It's fascinating that back in 1888, I'm guessing that's when they were invented, or, they might have even been invented before that. But especially back then, it's fascinating that they could figure out how to create a very thin lens to sit on your eyeball to correct your vision in the correct way, because everybody's eyes are different. This just blows my mind that they could figure that out. And then you have to convince somebody to put it in their eye, put it on their eye. I don't think I could ever do this. It freaks me out. And then, people who do this, they just get so used to it. They just touch their eye all over the place. They're having parties in their eyeball. Maybe someday if my eyes get bad enough, I don't know. I think I'm just going to stick with glasses. Also, they're very fashionable. I need new glasses. I need to go get a new eye test. I may need bifocals. I don't know. I'm getting old. My eyes are still pretty good, though. Okay. Next word. It is contact print. 2 words, noun from 1890. A photographic print made with the negative in contact with the sensitized paper, plate, or film. I never made the photos with the film, and I never what's the word I'm looking for? Developed. I never went to a dark room. I never developed it with the paper and the stuff, which I think is pretty cool. But yes, I guess in this specific one, the negative of the film has to be in contact with the other things. Okay, next word. It is contagion. Appropriate. Contagion. Noun from the 14th century, 1A, a contagious disease. There's lots of those. We're living through one. It's very contagious. You can spread it all over the place, which is why we're getting vaccinated, which is why so many people are working at home now. Okay, 1B, the transmission of a disease by direct or indirect contact. Oh, great. It can be sent around directly or indirectly. 1C, a disease-producing agent as a virus. It's just a disease-producing agent, and a virus is an example of that. 2A, the synonym is poison. 2B, contagious influence, quality, or nature. So it doesn't even have to be a virus or a disease. It's just a contagious influence, quality, or nature. Can you send out your influence, your quality, or your nature? Can that be contagious? How can we do that? What if people have a good influence, good quality, good nature, happiness, positivity, love, sympathy, empathy, compassion? Let's make those things contagious. Okay, just a couple of more. 2C, corrupting influence or contact. Corrupting influence or contact. Yeah, that's the kind of contagion I don't like. 3A, rapid communication of an influence. And the example of that influence would be a doctrine or emotional state. And 3B, an influence that spreads rapidly. Okay, so the words today were consumption, consumptive, contact, contact binary, contact hitter, contact inhibition, contact language, contact lens, contact print, and contagion. I am going to pick contact as the word of the episode because I want us to have contact with aliens. I don't know if I will ever get to experience that in my lifetime, but it's theoretically possible. Some other alien race out there would have to have such good technology that they could travel between solar systems and galaxies, and I don't know. It's probably very difficult. But maybe someday. Okay, Yes, I did update my pages. So, it is Christmas. Like we said yesterday, there are some places that are celebrating Christmas today. The Eastern Orthodox churches, Oriental Orthodox churches, they use the Julian calendar or Rastafari also. So it's Christmas in Russia, Christmas in Ukraine. In Armenia, it is Remembrance Day of the Dead, which is somehow related to Christmas. In medieval Europe, it's Distaff Day. I'm not sure what it is. I'll talk about it a little bit more. Let's see. It might be Plow Monday, which is after Epiphany. In Japan, it is Nanakusa no Seku. In Liberia, it is Pioneers' Day. In Italy, it is Tricolor Day. In Cambodia, it is Victory from Genocide Day. Let's see. National Bobblehead Day. That was a fad, and I guess it's still sort of going around. You want to make a bobblehead of me? You can do that. That'd be fun. Yeah, Distaff Day, also known as Rock Day, spelled with or without a K. Saint Distaff's Day. I don't know what it is. It shows like the thing with the yarn around it. Harlem Globetrotters Day. I was just listening to a podcast, Start Talk, with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and they were talking about the physics of trick shots in basketball. So they looked at some trick shots with Harlem Globetrotters. It's I'm not going to take it anymore day. I'm not gonna take it anymore day. International Programmers Day. National Old Rock Day. National Pass Gas Day. You guys don't want to hang out with me. I'm a good gas passer. National Tempura Day. Let's see. And then lastly, we'll check this page. Yeah, so you can go you can eat some tempura and fart it out while making some trick shots. I don't know. I don't have to do that all the time. Thank you very much for listening. I am going to go pass some gas and eat an apple, and maybe record one more episode today. Thank you for listening to this nonsense by me. Goodbye. Hello, bird turds. Welcome to another episode of the dictionary. What was the sound effect? Man, see, sometimes I figure out the sound effect before I record and then I forget it. It was, I don't know. It's completely gone. That might have been something like that. What was that? What's that cartoon? Maybe we'll do that. Okay, the first word at the top of page 269 is the word contagious. 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 Adjective from the 14th century. 1. Communicable by contact. And the synonym is catching, as in contagious diseases. You can catch it by making indirect or direct contact with other people, and it is contagious. Okay. 2. Bearing contagion, as in contagious people. The people have a contagion, and they are contagious. Stay away from those people. Number 3, used for contagious diseases. Used for contagious diseases, as in a contagious ward. I would not want to work in the contagious ward. 4, exciting similar emotions or conduct in others, as in contagious enthusiasm. Yeah, I think it helps. If you're happy, excited, enthusiastic about something, that tends to be contagious. Maybe I should be more excited about the words that I'm saying. Woohoo! Contagiously is an adverb. Are you getting so excited? Contagiousness is a noun, baby. Okay, next word. It is, what is this? Contagious abortion. It is a noun from 1910. A contagious or infectious disease of domestic animals characterized by abortion, and the example of this disease is called brucellosis. So I guess it's a disease that one of the symptoms, or maybe the main thing, is that the baby dies while it's still in the animal. Huh, interesting. That is a bad disease. Beep. Next word is contagium. Contagium, noun from 1870, an agent capable of causing a communicable disease. And so it's the thing that carries the disease that is contagious. The contagion is in the contagium, and it is contagious. Beep. Next word is contain, verb from the 14th century, starting with transitive. 1. To keep within limits. As 1a, the synonyms are restrain and control, as in, could hardly contain her enthusiasm. That's the second time we've seen enthusiasm. I can hardly contain my enthusiasm for this next word. No, definition. 1b, the synonyms are check and halt, as in, contain the spread of a deadly disease. Is it a coincidence that is so close to all this contagious talk? Contain the spread of a deadly disease? I think it is a coincidence. Obviously, the word contain is not specifically related to deadly diseases, but that is a very big example. You want to contain it. We try to contain COVID and the coronavirus by all staying in our homes, but that didn't work so great. Okay. 1C, to follow successfully a policy of containment toward. That was worded oddly, as in the example, efforts to contain communism. By the way, we talked about communism not all that long ago. I just saw a thing on Facebook, which was a really good description of three things: capitalism, communism, and socialism. And I literally just saw this, so I'm just going to read it to you. It's a tweet from somebody who says, socialism is not communism, because a lot of people put those hand in hand. So, quick description: capitalism, anybody can be rich. This is more to the tweet. Communism, nobody can be rich. Socialism, anybody can be rich, but nobody should be poor. Yeah. And then my friend commented, I should probably read it before I say it. What is rich? What is money? All right, what does it say? Capitalism, you need to be rich to live. I think we're taking the idea from the tweet and expanding on it. Yes, it's very hard to live if you are not at least somewhat rich in today's society. Do we like this? No, we do not. Communism, this is his description. What is rich? What is money? And socialism says capitalism realizing it needs to do a communism. Capitalism realizing it needs to do a communism. Okay, I like that. Okay, we need to get back on track, people. Where were we? So that the reason I got onto that track was because the example was efforts to contain communism. 1D for contain, to prevent from advancing or from making a successful attack. And the example of the thing that you are preventing would be an enemy or an opponent. 2A, to have within, and the synonym is hold. To have and to hold and to contain the things. 2B, synonyms are comprise and include, as in the bill contains several new clauses. 3A, to be divisible by usually without a remainder. That's math. 3B, synonyms are enclose and bound. And then we have one intransitive, which says to restrain oneself. It's sometimes hard to restrain yourself, to be contained. Containable is an adjective. The etymology says this is from, Latin verb contenere, which means to hold together or hold in or contain. From com plus tenere, which means to hold, and there's more at the word thin. I guess if you're thin, everything's being held into a smaller space. I don't know. That's kind of odd. We have synonym information for this word contain. Contain, hold, accommodate, mean to have or be capable of having within. To have or be capable of having within. Contain implies the actual presence of a specified substance or quantity within something, as in, the can contains a quart of oil. Hold implies the capacity of containing or the usual or permanent function of containing or keeping, as in, the bookcase will hold all of my textbooks. And accommodate stresses holding without crowding or inconvenience, as in, the hall can accommodate 500 people. Okay, that is it for contain. What was my sound effect? I genuinely don't... Oh, I remember. Beep. Next word is contained, with an ed, adjective from 1653s. The synonym is restrained, and then also the synonym calm. Can you be contained and restrained and calm? Sometimes you cannot contain your excitement and your enthusiasm for the next word. Beep. Container, noun from the 15th century, one that contains. As a receptacle, as a box or jar, for holding goods. And B, a portable compartment in which freight is placed for convenience of movement. And the example of the freight thing that is being placed on could be a train or a ship. Put that container on the train. It's the train container. Containerless is an adjective. We can't have things. We can't be containerless. We need to put our things in things. This would have been a good episode for my mom to be a guest on because she loves the Container Store. She's a professional organizer, and so, it's always fun to find new containers and things to put things in. Okay. Next word, container board. One word, noun from circa 1924, corrugated or solid cardboard used for making containers. It's very obvious. Next word is containerization or containerize with an S, British variation of containerization and containerize with a Z. Speaking of, it is containerization with a Z, noun from 1956, a shipping method in which a large amount of material, as merchandise, is packaged into large standardized containers. And right now, I don't know about January, but I think we're still going through that whole container backlog shipping problem. I think it's out in California, so hopefully that gets resolved soon. Okay. Containerize is next. Transitive verb from 1956. The last one was 1956. Were there other ones? No. Okay, 1, to ship by containerization. And 2, to pack into, just to pack in containers. When my mom goes on organizing jobs, I'm sure she says something like, let's containerize everything. No, I don't think she's ever said that once in her life, but I wish she would. Next word is container port. One word, noun from 1970, a shipping port specially equipped to handle containerized cargo. That word was handle. I don't know if I said it correctly. A shipping port specially equipped to handle containerized cargo. Container ship is next. We've got container board and container port and container ship. This is a noun from 1966, a ship specially designed or equipped for carrying containerized cargo, and it goes into a container port where there are other container ships, and they have a little party, and then the container ships go on to other container ports, and they drop off their containerized containers. Okay, next word, containment, noun from 1655. 1, the act, process, or means of containing. 2, the policy, process, or result of preventing the expansion of a hostile power or ideology. We gotta contain the hostileness of the things. Next word is contaminant. Contaminant. It is spelled contaminant, noun from 1922. Something that contaminates. And we're going to learn all about contaminating things in the next episode. The thing that contaminates is the contaminant. So the words in this episode were contagious, contagious abortion, contagium, contain, contained, container, container board, containerization, containerize, container port, container ship, containment, and contaminant. I think I will pick container as the word of the episode. If you want to be organized, you gotta, let's sing it. Let's sing a little song. Let's sing a little ditty about container. If you want to get organized, get some containers. Go to the container store or other place and buy some boxes and baskets. My wife Sharon loves baskets. She's always looking for baskets to put things in, to stay organized. It's just a little inside joke between us. All right, I'm going to read the holidays because I choose to do that. Let's see. Okay, it is Babenden in Belarus, Russia. Northern Mariana Islands has Commonwealth Day. Internationally, it is Typing Day. Go learn how to type. I think we've lost that largely. Let's see. In Moldova, it is Orthodox Christmas Day holiday. Maybe they're the last one. That is the wrong page. That's not the order you click on these pages. It is Argyle Day. It shows a picture of Argyle socks. I am curious. I must have read Argyle way back in the day, and maybe there was a description about why it's designed that way. Why is it called Argyle? I don't remember. If you want to learn, go back to that episode many episodes ago. It's Bubble Bath Day. Bubble bath. I haven't had a bubble bath since I was probably a kid. Earth's Rotation Day. Now, the Earth is always rotating. Why is it Earth's rotation? Maybe you should learn more about how the Earth moves today. National English Toffee Day. National Joy Germ Day. Joy Germ, it's one word, but the J and the G are capitalized, and I don't know anything about this. National Man Watchers Day. You can watch some men? Is that what that is? I have no clue. National Vision Board Day. That's been a big thing. People put pictures and things and words on a vision board, and then maybe they'll come true into their life. Yeah, maybe it works. People say it works. National Winter Skin Relief Day. I would say maybe don't try and relieve your skin of wintry stuff just today. Do it all day. You got to wear lots of lotion in the dry winter times if that's where you're living right now. I mean, it's going to be winter eventually for you probably. Unless you're along the equator, and then you're probably not going to get much winter. It is Show and Tell Day at Work Day. Show and Tell Day at Work Day. War on Poverty Day. I like this. I mean, I think there are people who choose this lifestyle, but the majority of them do not. They have been thrust into a life of poverty for a whole variety of reasons, probably. And that's rough, and I don't think they wanted that. So, what can we do to help? All right, let's check this other page. Let's see. We read all of these. It is Elvis Presley's birthday. Happy birthday, Elvis. Ironically, yesterday, at the time of recording, I just started watching that Beatles documentary, Get Back. I'm a little bit late to it. And in one of the parts, somebody said yesterday was Elvis Presley's birthday. And so, I don't know, I just think it's funny. We had a little coincidence there. I had a little coincidence. Okay, I think that's good for that. I got lots of stuff to go do now, and I'm going to go do them. And you probably have stuff to do, so you can go do that too. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast, and please go share it and tell people about it. And until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. Just mere minutes ago, I don't know, 30 minutes ago, I finished uploading all of the letter B episodes to YouTube. And of course, the link is in the show notes. And if you want to listen to this on YouTube, you can go do that. And maybe even by the time this airs, I will have all or most of the letter C up on YouTube as well. Okay, so let us read the words. I think I remember the sound effect I came up with. It's nothing crazy. It's just something new. Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to forget them quickly. Okay, the first word is contaminate. C-O-N-T-A-M-I-N-A-T-E. Verb from the 15th century. Just transitive, I think. 1A. To soil, stain, corrupt, or infect by contact or association, as in bacteria contaminated the wound. When I think of this word, when I hear this word, I think of actually the previous word from yesterday's episode, contaminant, all of these. I think of the movie WALL-E, and when they get back up to the spaceship, there are robots to see if they need to be cleaned, and then they say something like contaminant, contaminant. And one of the little robots is named Mo, and he's great and cute and goes away from his robotic duties other than cleaning everything. He jumps off his little line, and he becomes Wally and Eve's friend. And I actually just bought the little Funko Pop of Mo in addition to Wally, because they're the only Funko Pops I have. And, he's trying to get rid of all the things that are contaminating things. It's got to be clean. He's very OCD in having things clean. Okay, moving on to 1b. To make inferior or impure by admixture, as in iron contaminated with phosphorus. 2. To make unfit for use by the introduction of unwholesome or undesirable elements. What would those be? Unwholesome and undesirable elements? Contaminative is an adjective, and contaminator is a noun. It's time for the contaminator. This is from, looking at the etymology, Latin contingere, which means to have contact with. There's more at the word contingent. There is synonym information for this word. Let's read it. Okay, fine. Contaminate, taint, pollute, and defile mean to make impure or unclean. Contaminate implies intrusion of or contact with dirt or foulness from an outside source, as in water contaminated by industrial wastes. That is something that we do not want. We cannot have our water contaminated in any way by anything. We need clean water, and we're going to have a water shortage soon. Makes me unhappy. The word taint stresses the loss of purity by cleanliness that follows contamination, as in tainted meat. Also, don't want no foods that have been tainted. Also, as in a politician's tainted reputation. Pollute, sometimes interchangeable with contaminate, distinctively may imply that the process which begins with contamination is complete and that what was pure or clean has been made foul, poisoned, or filthy, as in the polluted waters of the river. And defile implies befouling of what could or should have been kept clean and pure or held sacred, and commonly suggests violation or desecration, as in defile a hero's memory with slanderous innuendo. This was a very long synonym section. Okay, next is... Oh, my sound effect. I must do that. I think it was... Wah. Next is contamination, noun from the 15th century. 1. A process of contaminating. A state of being contaminated. And number 2, the synonym is contaminant. Wah. Next word is CONTD, abbreviation for continued. CONTD. I used to write this, I have written this, and I think I would put an apostrophe in there. I think I did an apostrophe after the letter T. Wow. Next word is cont. I think that's how it's pronounced. CONTE, cont. Noun from 1843. A usually short tale of adventure. I've never heard of this. Ooh, the cats, I think they're playing. They're zooming around out there. Cont, it's a short tale of adventure. Fun. Wow. Next word is contemn. CONTEMN. It is a transitive verb from the 15th century, to view or treat with contempt. Yeah, when I read that it's pronounced contemn, I thought that's close to contempt. Yes, so it's to view or treat with contempt. And then the synonym is scorn. Another synonym is the word despise. Contemner, I think that's how you would pronounce it. Yeah, it shows me. Contemner or just contemner, that is a noun, and that could be spelled at the end with an OR or an ER. And it is from the Latin com plus temnere, which means to despise. Wow. Next word is contemplate. It is a verb from circa 1533, starting with transitive. 1. To view or consider with continued attention. Meditate on. That's the second part of the definition. As in, contemplate the vastness of the universe. I did not meditate this afternoon. I have not been very good about meditating twice a day, but I think I really need to try whenever I can. And contemplate the vastness of the universe. Talk about meditating, thinking, whatever that is. It's that burns, that hurts my brain, blows my mind, hurts my brain. It burns the stuff in the head. Anyway. Number 2, to view as contingent or probable or as an end or intention. Was that proper English? There were 3 ors. To view as contingent or probable or as an end or intention. As in contemplate marriage. You can contemplate it all you want. You'll have to decide eventually, I guess, or if you don't decide, then that's a choice right there. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to get married if you don't wanna. And then intransitive, the synonyms are ponder and meditate. Another synonym for everything is the word consider. And contemplator is a noun. Let's see, is there any etymology from the Latin? Yep, Latin com plus templum, which means space marked out for observation of auguries. So the word templum, Templum, it is a space marked out for observation of auguries. And I don't remember what an augury is, but that's a whole lot of information into one little word. Oh, and there's more at the word temple. So that's where we get the word temple from. And in a temple, sometimes you think and you meditate and you ponder. Yeah, cool, interesting. Wow. Next word is contemplation, noun from the 13th century, 1a, concentration on spiritual things as a form of private devotion. I guess it's private. Yeah, if it's in your brain, it's just automatically pretty private. 1b, a state of mystical awareness of God's being. 2, an act of considering with attention, and the synonym is study. 3, the act of regarding steadily. And 4, the synonyms are intention and expectation. Wow. Next word is contemplative or contemplative. It is the first form of this word adjective from the 14th century, marked by or given to contemplation, specifically of or relating to a religious order devoted to prayer and penance. I guess because I'm not very religious, I did not realize that this could very specifically be part of religion. I just thought it was all about just thinking and contemplating in your head. Contemplative, how do you say this word? Contemplatively is an adverb, and contemplativeness is a noun. Wow. Second form of contemplative, that's how I like to say it, but you can say contemplative if you want. Second form, noun from the 14th century, a person who practices contemplation. That's it. Next word, wow. It is contempo. It is one word, Contempo, adjective from 1972. The synonyms are contemporary and present day, as in the example, contempo music. They didn't have time to say contemporary, so they just shortened it to contempo. But it's funny because the word tempo is in there, and tempo is in music all about the speed. What is the tempo of the song? Is it fast? Is it slow? Etc. So it's a little, it throws my brain for a little bit of a loop. It just means contemporary, present day, modern. Okay. Last word, wah. It is the word contemporaneity. Something like that. Contemporaneity or contemporaneity. It is spelled Contemporaneity. Contemporaneity. Noun from 1772. The quality or state of being contemporaneous or contemporary. And we're going to learn all about that in tomorrow's episode. Okay, this is going to be hard to pick a word of the episode, but first I shall read the words to you. We had contaminate, contamination, cont, contem, contemplate, contemplation, contemplative, contempo, and contemporaneity. No, that's not it. Contemporaneity. Close enough. Let's see. I think I'm just going to pick contemplate as the word of the episode because I very much enjoyed that, and I like to sit and contemplate life and all of the stuff. I think about lots of things. So you need to now sing a song about the word contemplate. Does it rhyme with anything? It rhymes with so many things that I can't even imagine that it rhymes with. I'm just stalling because I just need to burst out in song. Contemplate the meaning of this song. There is no meaning, but I want you to contemplate it anyway. All right, I think that's fine. So the holidays for today, the day that this is airing, of course it means nothing because you're not going to hear it on this day anyway. I would like to thank whoever, let's see, what's today? What's today in real life times? What's today? It is December 9th. The last couple of days, today and yesterday, somebody downloaded a whole bunch of my episodes, and I thank you for that because that felt real good. Okay, in Joju Shinshu Buddhism, it is the start of Huonko, and I know that I'm not saying that correctly. It's also Nishi Honganji, something like that. It's from January 9th to the 16th. In Panama, it is Martyrs' Day. In India, it is Non-Resident Indian Day. This is a whole long thing. In Bosnia and Herzegovina, it is Day of Republika Srpska. It's, let's see, it says, note, not celebrated and disputed in wider Bosnia and Herzegovina, having been declared unconstitutional in 2015. Interesting, there's some drama going on with that one. Let's see, in the U.S. and, obviously other places are doing this too, or watching, it's the Golden Globe Awards. Will I watch it? Sometimes I do, not all the time, but maybe I will. It is Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. Appreciate your law enforcement people. I know it's a contentious topic, but in general, they're there to help the people, and it's a whole thing, but we do appreciate you. In India, it is Guru Govind Singh Jayanti. It's fun holiday time. It is Balloon Ascension Day. It is also known as Aviation in America Day, and it shows a picture of a bunch of hot air balloons. Oh, that would be fun to be in a hot air balloon someday. It is Baptism of the Lord. It is International Choreographers Day. Off the top of my head, I know at least one choreographer, maybe a couple, so celebrate your choreographers. They show you how to dance. It's National Apricot Day. I think some people say apricot. Let's see. National Static Electricity Day. I have been experiencing a lot of static electricity every winter. So much static, everything's so dry. It's not fun. National Sunday Supper Day. It's your day. It's our day. National Word Nerd Day. I'm going to have to put this in my calendar for the future. National Word Nerd Day. It's the second or third unofficial holiday for this podcast because I know there's Dictionary Day somewhere. No Pants Subway Ride Day. Do we want to not wear pants on the subway? I don't think that's a good idea. Play God Day. Interesting. And let's check this one last page for anything else, and I don't think I see anything else. Okay, thank you very much for listening and turning on this podcast and letting people know. Go let the people know about it. Until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. Thank you for joining me. Oh, I forgot to think of a sound effect. Why am I doing this? I'll say crack. Crack, because there's these like stick-looking decorative things, and I thought in my head, what if I cracked it? So crack the branch. I don't know. Okay. I don't remember if I mentioned this. No, maybe I can save that for the end. I don't think you all want to hear personal life stuff of what I'm watching or whatever, so I can just save it for the end. Okay. And then if you do like it, that'll force you to listen to the whole episode, because you can't skip ahead. I wish I could turn that off, but I don't think I can. No, I don't wish I could do that. Okay. The first word in this episode is contemporaneous. 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 Adjective from circa 1656. Existing, occurring, or originating during the same time. Synonym is contemporary. Contemporaneously is an adverb, and contemporaneousness is a long noun. It is from, the Latin, basically the Latin word tempus, which means time. So it's existing, occurring at the same time. It's contemporaneous. Cracking toast, Gromit. Next word is contemporary. Adjective from 1631. 1. Happening, existing, living, or coming into being during the same period of time. 2a, the synonym is simultaneous. 2b, marked by characteristics of the present period. Synonyms are modern and current. Contemporarily, that is an adverb. And music that is contemporary is contempo music. Yeah, if you, if they're talking about artists, two artists from the same time, they would be contemporaries. They were arting it up at the same time. Synonym information for contemporary: contemporary, contemporaneous, coeval, synchronous, simultaneous, and coincident mean existing or occurring at the same time. Contemporary is likely to apply to people and what relates to them, as in Abraham Lincoln was contemporary with Charles Darwin. That's interesting information to know. Contemporaneous is more often applied to events than to people, as in contemporaneous accounts of the kidnapping. Coeval, spelled C-O-E-V-A-L, I think that's how it's pronounced. It refers usually to periods, ages, eras, and eons, as in two stars thought to be coeval. Synchronous implies exact correspondence in time and especially in periodic intervals, as in synchronous timepieces. By the way, a while back I could not think of the name for the thing that you put the sand in and you flip it over for time. It's called an hourglass. Just wanted to let you know that I figured it out. Simultaneous implies correspondence in a moment of time, as in the two shots were simultaneous. What is that, 2 shots of a gun? And coincident is applied to events and may be used in order to avoid implication of causal relationship, as in the end of World War II was coincident with a great vintage year. Are they talking about wine? A great vintage year for wine? Was 1945 a great year for wine? I don't know. Okay, by the way, that was the first form of contemporary. Crack. Second form of contemporary is a noun from 1638. I think this is my absolute worst sound effect idea so far. I'm sure I'll have a worse one later. Okay, number 1 for contemporary: one that is contemporary with another. 2, one of the same or nearly the same age as another. Crack. Next word is contemporize. Transitive verb from 1646, to make contemporary, as in contemporize a magazine with the latest fashions. So this is not about things happening at the same time. This is more about the definition that was about being modern and current, up to date. Yeah. Do I need to contemporize this book because it doesn't have all of the words in it? Do I need to contemporize my fashion? Probably. All right, let's move on. Crack. It is the word contempt. C-O-N-T-E-M-P-T. We had contem in yesterday's episode, which was sort of similar, I think. So this word contempt is a noun from the 14th century. 1a, the act of despising, the state of mind of one who despises. And the synonym is disdain. 1b, lack of respect or reverence for something. 2, the state of being despised. 3, willful disobedience to or open disrespect of a court, judge, or legislative body, as in contempt of court. We hear that a lot if we're either in court or watching a movie or a TV show about court, because most of us don't ever go to court. We're not lawyers. We're not criminals. Willful disobedience to or open disrespect of a court, judge, or legislative body. Okay. Yeah, it's all about despising. I have such contempt for the things that I despise, because that's what it means. All right, next word, crack. Contemptible. It's probably able to be despised. Adjective from the 14th century. 1, worthy of contempt. 2 is obsolete. Synonyms are scornful and contemptuous. Contemptibility is a noun. What is the contemptibility of that person who is terrible? Or that scent that is bad, that flavor? I don't know. Contemptibility. Contemptibleness is a noun, and contemptibly is an adverb. And we have synonym information again. Contemptible, despicable, pitiable, sorry, and scurvy mean arousing or deserving scorn. Contemptible may imply any quality provoking scorn or a low standing in any scale of values, as in a contemptible liar. Despicable may imply utter worthlessness and usually suggests arousing an attitude of moral indignation, as in a despicable crime. And what would that movie have been like if they had called it Contemptible Me? No, it's despicable. It's different definitions. Okay. Pitiable applies to what inspires mixed contempt and pity, as in a pitiable attempt at tragedy. Sorry, or for my Canadian listeners, sorry, may stress pitiable inadequacy or may suggest wretchedness or sordidness, as in, this rattletrap is a sorry excuse for a car. A rattletrap? And scurvy adds to despicable an implication of arousing disgust, as in a scurvy crew of hangers-on. I just had a thought about the synonym information, and I wasn't paying attention for the last 269 pages, but so when we get to the word despicable, is it going to list this whole same section of synonym information, or do they only put it at the earliest word of that group of words? I don't know. So maybe as time goes on, we're going to see less and less blocks of synonym text because we will have already gone through them. I don't know. Interesting. I could look it up, but I don't feel like it. Okay, I think we are on our last word for this episode, crack. It is the word contemptuous. You can pronounce this a few ways. You can say contemptuous, 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 contemptuous. It is, to some of you, that may not have sounded like anything different, but they were different. This is an adjective from 1574, manifesting, feeling, or expressing contempt. Contemptuously is an adverb, and contemptuousness is a noun. Okay, so the words in this episode were contemporaneous, contemporary, contemporize, contempt, contemptible, and contemptuous. I think maybe I'll just pick contemporary as the word of the episode. As I get older, I think that it's a whole lot harder to... Maybe I'll turn it into a song. As I get older, it's a whole lot harder to what's the word? Contemporize my stuff. You know, what am I talking about? It's my clothes, it's my linguistics, how I talk. You know, you get stuck in who you are at your age, and then the new people come up and they're young and cool and hip, and you can never be modern and with it. All right, I think that's fine. Okay, let's look at the holidays for today. January 10th. In Benin, it is Fête de Voudon. In the Falkland Islands, it is Margaret Thatcher Day. In the Bahamas, it is Majority Rule Day. In the UK, it is Plough Monday. Fun holidays. We don't have a lot today, I guess. Houseplant Appreciation Day. Get some plants and appreciate them. Water them. This is how you can appreciate your plants. You can water them, you can give them sunlight, you can give them whatever they need because all plants are different, and they will give you oxygen, and you will give them carbon dioxide, and you will have a happy life. Talk to them too. National Bittersweet Chocolate Day. Don't eat the bittersweet chocolate. It will not taste good, more likely than not. National Clean Off Your Desk Day. National Cut Your Energy Costs Day. It shows a picture of some solar panels, so if you can get some solar panels, that will be good. National Gluten-Free Day. National Gluten-Free Day. Eat some stuff that's gluten-free. National Oysters Rockefeller Day. Peculiar People Day. The peculiar people are the best people. I hope that you are a peculiar people person. It is also Save the Eagles Day. There's lots of eagles, and there's lots of kinds of eagles, and they're great, and let's save them. Let's see, anything else? Oh, one more. National Fourth Graders Day. Let's see, I think, nine? Oh, boy, yeah. Nine or so. So fourth graders are 9 or 10 years old. Hey, maybe there's some fourth graders listening to this, and hey, happy National Fourth Graders Day to you. All right, I think that is it for this episode. Oh, I was going to say a little personal stuff. Let's see, what am I watching? I watched the first episode plus a little bit, although I don't know if you could call them episodes, of the Beatles thing, Get Back. I watched this in early December. Maybe by the time this airs, I will have actually finished it. Let's see, how can I describe this quickly if you don't know anything about it? Well, it's on Disney+. Probably in the middle of the Beatles' career. They're a band, if you don't know. They took like a couple of weeks to write and record a whole album, from what I understand. And they hired a video and audio crew to document the whole thing. And I'm not entirely sure why, but for some reason, all the footage just sat there unused. And finally, they dug it up, and Peter Jackson from Lord of the Rings and a whole bunch of other things, that rhymed. He got it all out and made this thing. It's like 8 hours of footage. Each part is, I think, between 2 and 3 hours long, and it is fascinating. This is my one criticism, just from the little bit that I've seen so far. I mean, I've watched about a third of it. It's very fast. It jumps around a lot. There are very few times so far where they actually just sit on one thing and you watch it happen. There's a few times which are great, but largely it's like a few sentences where they're talking about this thing or this song or whatever it is, and then without any explanation, they all of a sudden start talking about something else. So it's a little bit jarring in that way, but it is a fascinating look into what I think this was mid to late 60s. So it's a fascinating look into the styles, the dress, the people themselves. I mean, the Beatles, to like see them in like their element is super fascinating. I highly recommend it. And they're writing songs in the moment. The famous one, of course, is "Get Back." You get to watch Paul McCartney basically come up with the song in a couple of minutes, and it's totally fascinating. And from a technical standpoint, from a behind the scenes editing standpoint, what Peter Jackson and his team had to do, I think, was a mountain of work. They had more audio than they had video. So I think to cover, they want to show this audio, but they don't have any video. So they show video of things that isn't what they have to show video of somebody not talking. So you can sort of get the idea of what's happening. And I think that's partly why they edited it the way that they did. So they had to sync up all of this audio and video and find video that matched up with the audio that they wanted to play. And like, oh my God, I can't even imagine how much work went into that. And it's great. It's very cool. Okay. I think that's enough for this episode. I'm going to end this. Thank you very much for listening. As usual, as always, thank you. And until next time. By the way, by now, you probably have access to all 1,000+ episodes, and hopefully that will stay forever. In case you're interested, you should go start from the beginning. Okay, this has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye! Well, hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. Oh, boy, I forgot to come up with a sound effect. Why does this happen more often than not? Oh my God. And then, of course, you try and come up with something in the moment and your brain shuts down. And then I think whatever my brain wants to think of is probably similar to all the other things that I thought of before. Whew! Can I do some real... I mean, are these... Yes, these are real sound effects. They're not fake sound effects. I want to do something interesting, but I don't know, whatever. Whew! Okay. The first word in this episode is... Oh, it's the end of page 269. If you want to follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram is @dictionarypod. By the way, if you want to follow my personal stuff, it's @speejampar, SPEJAMPAR. You can call the Google Voice number that's in the show notes if you want to leave a message. If you have anything to say, really, call it up and leave a voicemail. Or if you want to send an audio file or just a regular email, you can do that, dictionarypod@gmail.com. You can also find these on YouTube and wherever you get the podcasts, and you're already listening to it, so you've probably already figured that out, because you're smart. Oh, wait, okay. Whew! The first word is contend, CONTEND, verb from the 15th century, starting with intransitive. 1. To strive or vie in contest or rivalry or against difficulties. And the synonym is struggle. 2. To strive in debate. And the synonym is argue. And now we have transitive. Number 1, synonyms are maintain and assert. As in, contended that he was right. He felt so sure about himself that he was right that he maintained that stance. He asserted it. Maybe he was wrong. Number 2, to struggle for. And the synonym is contest. Or would it be contest? I think it's contest. That's actually going to be the last word in this episode. Okay, etymology. It is from the Latin contendere, which is from com plus tendere, which means to stretch. And there's more at the word thin. Stretched so far, you're thin. Not entirely sure how that makes sense to this one. I don't know. Okay, next word. Whew! Contender. I could have been one. Noun from 1547. one that contends, especially a competitor for a championship or high honor, as in a heavyweight title contender. I can't do a Marlon Brando impersonation. I could have been a contender. Oh, I wrote a scope animated that. I was doing a little test, a little experimentation. I think that was what I chose. Maybe I'll put a link in the show notes for that. Whew! Next word is content. First form, adjective from the 15th century. Synonyms are contented and satisfied, as in was content with her life as it was. Okay, this is from the Latin verb contenere, which means to hold in or contain, and there's more at the word contain. So, I don't know, contain, content, other than how they sound, what's the connection there? I don't know. I think in general, I'm fairly content. You know, I don't, my emotions don't go real high, real low, usually. Sometimes they do. Some people have emotions like a roller coaster, and I stay fairly even most of the time. I'm just content. Whew! Second form of content. Transitive verb, 15th century. 1. To appease the desires of. To appease the desires of. To stop. Stop is not right. I don't know. Number 2. To limit in requirements, desires, or actions. Yeah, limit. I think that's a good synonym for appease. Kind of. Not exactly. No, I take that back. By the way, the example of what or who is being limited would be oneself. To limit oneself in requirements, desires, or actions. Whew! Third form of content, noun from 1579. It is the synonym contentment, as in, ate to his heart's content. Oh, what did he eat? I want to know. I shall eat a brownie tonight. Yesterday, my wife went to the store and she got some brownies because they were 25% off, and I said, I think today was National Brownie Day, only because I had listened to my episode that day in the morning, and I had a vague memory of it saying National Brownie Day, of me saying National Brownie Day. And it was. I was right. So that's why she got some discounted brownies. Whew! Fourth form is pronounced content. Content. I am creating content here. Sometimes I create content on YouTube. I'm putting up a bunch of random stuff there. Well, right now I'm just putting up this thing on YouTube, but I'm trying to put some new stuff up there. That's a goal. And so content, we're always just trying to make content. Content creators. Is that what I am? I don't know. I'd like to be, I guess. Yeah, I think that would be fun. It's hard. It's hard to come up with stuff. Okay, noun from the 15th century, 1A, something contained. And this is usually used in plural, as in the jar's contents. Oh, I hope it's a cookie jar. It has some cookies in the cookie jar. The contents of the jar is cookies. Also as in the drawer's contents. It's probably a drawer full of underwear contents. 1B, the topics or matter treated in a written work, as in table of contents. It is the list of the things that is contained. Oh, that's where the word contain comes from. It's the book contains all of these contents, and then you can look at the list of them in the table of contents. 1C, the principal substance offered by a World Wide Web site, and the example of this substance could be written matter, illustrations, or music. The principal substance as written matter, illustrations, or music offered by a World Wide Web site, as in internet users have evolved an ethos of free content in the internet. And that is a quote from Ben Gerson. Gerson, Gerson. Gerson. I think it's funny that it says World Wide Web site. I feel like that's a bit dated. Yes, content. And it should all be free. Most of it should be free. You know, if somebody's making something, they should probably be paid in some form for that. Okay, 2A, the synonyms are substance and gist, G-I-S-T. 2B, synonyms are meaning and significance. 2C, the events, physical detail, and information in a work of art. And it says compare to the 10B definition for the word form. Content, form. I'm going to put in a clip here, I think.
XTC versus Adam and content versus form.
Okay, 3A. The matter dealt with in a field of study. It is their content. 3B, a part, element, or complex of parts. And 4, the amount of specified material contained, and the synonym is proportion. I should probably give you some context on the content music that I played just a little bit ago. They Might Be Giants have a song called XTC versus Adam Ant, which are two bands, and it's a fun song, especially if you know the bands, which I don't really. But one of the lines, I think, I'm saying this before I re-listened to it. It's about content versus form. I think that's kind of what that is about. It's, one of them was more about content, and the other band was more about form and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm just giving you some context on that. Whee-oo! I think that was my sound effect. Our next word is content analysis. 2 words, noun, from 1940. Analysis of the manifest and latent content of a body of communicated material, as a book or film, through a classification, tabulation, and evaluation of its key symbols and themes in order to ascertain its meaning and probable effect. Not entirely sure what that was all about. Okay. Ooh, I almost closed the book because I'm trying to adjust this. Classic. There's a lot there. Analyzing content. Would you like to write a whole essay on analyzing the content of this podcast? That would be a lot of work. Whew! Next word is contented. Adjective from the 15th century. Feeling or showing satisfaction with one's possessions, status, or situation, as in a contented smile. Contentedly is an adverb, and contentedness is a noun. Whoo! Next word is contention. Noun from the 14th century. 1. An act or instance of contending. 2. A point advanced or maintained in a debate or argument. 3. The synonyms are rivalry and competition. It's a contention competition. Another synonym is the word discord. Let's see. Etymology. I don't like contention between people and things. Similarly, our next word, whew, it is contentious. Adjective from the 15th century. 1. Likely to cause contention, as in a contentious argument. 2. Exhibiting an often perverse and wearisome tendency to quarrels and disputes, as in a man of a most contentious nature. I'd like to think I am not a man of a most contentious nature. A synonym for everything is the word belligerent. Contentiously is an adverb, and contentiousness is a noun. Should we go back to the word contention a little bit? Let's see. Act or instance of contending. A point advanced or maintained in a debate or argument. I don't know. It's not great, but yeah, the next one, rivalry, competition. It's all about quarrels, competition. I don't like it. Whew! Next word is contentment. Noun from the 15th century. 1. The quality or state of being contented. 2. Something that contents. That is contents. So which one would that be? First form, second form, third form, fourth form? It doesn't say. I could probably figure it out if I wanted to, but I don't feel like taking that time. Okay. Whew. Next is content word. 2 words. Content word, 2 words. Noun from 1940. I wonder if this is similar to content analysis, which was also 1940. So this one, content word, is a word that primarily expresses lexical meaning. And it's as compared to function word, which I assume is, not maybe necessarily opposite, but yeah. So one of them is about the content of the thing, and the other is about the function of the thing, how it's used, and the other one is about what it means. I don't know if I'm using those words correctly, but yeah, different content, function, form, all that. Or something like that. Okay, moving on. Whew. It is conterminous. 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 Adjective from 1631. 1. Having a common boundary, as in conterminous countries. Let's see. Yeah, we'll get there. Number 2, this synonym is coterminous. Interesting. So our word is conterminous with an N, but the synonym is coterminous with no N. 3. Enclosed within one common boundary, as in the 48 conterminous states. You don't usually hear that. You hear the lower 48, you hear the contiguous states, but I've never heard of conterminous. Conterminously is an adverb. This is from the Latin conterminus, which is com plus terminus, which means boundary. And there's more at the word term. So, yes. And, I think there's also the word end, like terminal. It's the end of a thing. It's the boundary of a thing. So, yes. The common boundary, conterminous countries. It all makes sense now. I hope you get it. Because I'm here to educate you. Okay, last word. Whew. It is the word contest or contest. Emphasize either syllable. It's spelled CONTEST. This is the first form. Bottom of the page. Verb from 1603, starting with 1 intransitive, which is just the synonyms strive and vie, V-I-E. And transitive says to make the subject of dispute, contention, or litigation, especially the synonyms dispute and challenge. Contestable is an adjective and contester is a noun. Let's see. This is from the Latin contestari, and then in parentheses it says litem, L-I-T-E-M. No clue what that means, but this all contestari, it means to bring an action at law. It's from contestari, which is the same word, which means to call to witness. From com plus testis, which means witness, and there's more at the word testament. So, the words today were contend, contender, content, content, content analysis, contented, contention, contentious, contentment, content word, conterminous, and contest. Well, I think I will pick content as the word of the episode, but that also encompasses content. Because in life I am content while I create my content. All right, let's talk about the holidays for today. In Tunisia, it is Children's Day. Puerto Rico has Eugenio Maria de Hostos Day. In Morocco, it is Independence Resistance Day. In Japan, it is Kagami Biraki. In Albania, it is Republic Day. In Rome, it is Carmentalia, which is on January 11th and January 15th for some reason. More. It is Human Trafficking Awareness. This is a thing that is still going on, has been going on for a long time. People, oh man, I think about when people do bad things. And I just don't understand it. I just genuinely do not get it. Are you so selfish? Are you so that you can't think of other people's feelings, how this is affecting other people, to take advantage of these people? I was listening to a podcast. They were talking about Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, this is such an adult topic to talk about, but he was doing bad stuff, and he had somebody helping him out. And I just do not understand the mindset of doing those things. I just cannot grasp it. Let's go back to the holidays. It's National Milk Day. I will not be celebrating this other than maybe having some oat milk in a coffee drink or something. Because milk, you really shouldn't be drinking it after you're drinking it from your mother. That's where we get all of our milk from. All the mammals, that's where the milk comes from. And it's designed to make us grow big and fat, and then you don't need it anymore. But you can get all the other kinds of milks that are way healthier for you. In Canada, it is Sir John A. Macdonald Day. Sir A. John Macdonald Day. Let's talk about the fun holidays. Cigarettes are hazardous to your health day. That's obvious. We know this. It is Girl Hug Boy Day. So girls, go hug your boys, I guess. Let's see. The UK has Heritage Treasures Day. It is Learn Your Name in Morse Code Day. Obviously, people who have longer names, they're going to have more to learn. But, this is a relatively easy thing to do. Man, I got to get back. I have a Morse code app, and I was studying it, and I was doing pretty well. And I think I forgot all of it. So go learn your name in Morse code. It is also National Hot Toddy Day. This is an adult drink, although I'm sure you can make a virgin version. But it's a good drink to have when the weather is cold. It's got, I think, bourbon and lemon and honey or variations on that. Tasty stuff. National Poetry at Work Day. National Shop for Travel Day. National Step in a Puddle and Splash Your Friend Day. Secret Pal Day. World Sketch Note Day. Go sketch some notes. All right, let's look at this other page for anything else. Paget's Awareness Day. I'm not sure what that is. And National Arkansas Day. All right, thank you very much for listening to this. We've finished another page, 269, and I think that's good for that. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to another episode of the dictionary. We are at the top of page 270. I would like to tell you all that just this morning I went and got my booster shot. Yay for science. It's been hours. It was five and a half hours or so. I'm feeling like no symptoms whatsoever, which is very odd. I was expecting to feel at least somewhat worn down, so I'm incredibly lucky, I think. And so I'm just going to record a couple of episodes today and see what happens. Maybe tomorrow I'll feel crappier. I'm going to try and record a couple episodes tomorrow too. We'll see. I'll let you know how it goes. All right. I feel like I'm running out of sounds that I can make with my mouth for this sound effect thing, although I'm sure that's not true. I could come up with something, but, a lot of sound effects you can't really make with your mouth, and that gets hard. Footsteps, for instance. How do you make that? Creak, creak. Greek? No, you can't do that. So whatever. I'm just gonna maybe still try and do some sound effects with my mouth, and then if I can't anymore, then I'll either stop the sound effects thing altogether. Let me know how you feel about that, one way or the other. Or maybe I will put the sound effects in post, although I'm not entirely sure if I want to do that. That's more work for me. Anyway, let's talk about the words. The first word is the second form of contest, and it is pronounced with the emphasis on the first syllable, contest. Noun from 1630. 1. A struggle for superiority or victory. And the synonym is competition. I don't tend to join contests or competition because I know that I'm not superior in any way. Number 2. A competition in which each contestant performs without direct contact with or interference from competitors. Okay. What is the sound effect for today? I think the sound I said beforehand was wee 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 wee. I don't know, something like that. Oh, okay. Next word is contestant. Noun from 1665. 1. One that participates in a contest. You become a contestant. Why isn't it a contestor or a contestee or a contestist? I don't know. Number 2, one that contests an award or decision. I don't think I realized that if you are contesting something, saying that it's wrong or whatever, you want to change the outcome of it, that you would be a contestant. Come on down, you are the next contestant on The Price is Right. Wee, 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 wee. Next word is contestation, noun from 1580. The synonyms are controversy and debate. Yeah, I think that makes sense. From an old school standpoint, you're having a debate. It's a kind of like a contest. One of you wants to be victorious, reign superior, and so it's a contestation. I was part of the contestation club in high school. No, I was not. Wee, 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 wee. Next word is context. Context. The first word in this episode is spelled with an S. There's a fair amount of words that are you just change that one letter. Content, contest, context. There's probably other ones. Okay, context. Noun from circa 1568. There's a pretty good amount of etymology, which of course we'll get to. 1. The parts of a discourse that surround a word or passage and can throw light on its meaning. And number 2, the interrelated conditions in which something exists or occurs. Synonyms are environment and setting, as in the historical context of the war. I have a lot of stuff to say about this, I think. Contextless is an adjective. Contextual is an adjective, can be pronounced a few ways. And contextually is an adverb. The etymology says it is a Middle English word, and it means weaving together of words. Weaving together of words. It is from the Latin contextus, which means connection of words or coherence, from the verb contexere, which means to weave together, which is from com plus texere, which means to weave, and there's more at the word technical. All right, so let's look at the second one. The example was the historical context of the war. And I think this also very much applies to movies. I think about it in terms of movies often. You have to look at the context of the world, society, culture, when a movie came out. First example I can think of is the movie Citizen Kane. It is largely regarded as the best movie ever made, but that was also largely because of so many things surrounding the movie when it was made. I think it came out in 1940 or 41. I'm not going to go into lots of details, but it was different camera usage, showing the ceiling because nobody ever showed the ceiling before because that's where they put the lights, putting the camera in the floor to show the ceiling, having so many things in focus, just, shooting it differently, not to mention the fact that it was made by a guy who was 25 years old, I think. He wrote it, he produced it, he directed it, he starred in it, he played this one character from the 20s all the way until he was an elderly man, and he did a good job at playing those ages all throughout. It was really just, and on top of all that, he had creative control over the whole film. He had final cut, which is a thing that a lot of production companies do not want to give a director, but he had it. So yeah, it was just so anyway, that's just a very long-winded thing to say that you have to look at the context of a thing for when it was created, specifically a movie. In addition to the word context, I may end up picking this as the word of the episode. We'll see. In communication, when you're communicating with somebody or lots of things, you have to look at the context of the situation, of whatever it is that you're reading, you're understanding. It's very important to know context. I feel like one of the issues in communication when there are issues with communication, it is because somebody is not giving context. I know for me, maybe it's just my brain, but I know for me, there's a siren going by. For me, if somebody starts talking to me about something, I think oftentimes they miss giving me context. And I need context. I need to know what they are talking about. I can't sometimes follow what's going on unless I'm giving the context, unless I'm given the context. So I strongly recommend that if you are communicating with somebody, as much as you can, give them context about the thing that's going on. Because what people don't realize, or they don't think about, is that they have a train of thought in their head that doesn't always come out. And they unconsciously assume that the people that they're talking to know what that train of thought is. But how can they know that if they are not given that context? Does that make sense? I hope it does. Have I talked enough about context? I think I have. Moving on. What is that sound? It is the word context-free, and this is two words with a hyphen, adjective from 1964, of relating to or being a grammar or language based on rules that describe a change in a string without reference to elements not in the string. Also, being such a rule. My brain sort of shuts down even when we talk about grammar and language, even though I'm reading a book about the dictionary. This is a lot of stuff going on there. Context free. I want all of us to have context. Okay. Next word is contextualize. Transitive verb from 1934. To place in a context. And the example of what is being placed is a word or activity. And contextualization is a noun. And of course, because there's the T-U-A-L in this word, you can pronounce it a variety of ways. To place in a context. You are then contextualizing. It's a good thing to do, I guess. Next word is contexture. Context with a U-R-E. Contexture. Noun from 1603. 1. The act, process, or manner of weaving parts into a whole. Also, a structure so formed. As in, a contexture of lies. Number 2, the synonym is context. Let's see, that's it for that. Next is CONTG. It is an abbreviation for the word containing. And I don't know how to say it. No. Next word is contiguity. Contiguity. Why does that word sound so weird? because it is a weird word. Contiguity. Contiguity? Contiguity. You say it more times, it's not going to change it. Noun from 1612, the quality or state of being contiguous. And the synonym is proximity. Relatedly, we have contiguous. contiguous. Adjective from circa 1609. 1. Being in actual contact. Touching along a boundary or at a point. The 48 states of America, the 48 of the 50 are contiguous. I feel like I mentioned that maybe in yesterday's episode or something. The 48 contiguous states. Number 2 is talking about an angle, or just of angles in general. It is the number 2 definition for the word adjacent. They're touching. 3. Next or near in time or sequence. What is the next thing? Is it a scene in a movie? It is the next event to happen. They are contiguous. 4. Touching or connected throughout in an unbroken sequence. I'm going to read that again. Touching or connected throughout in an unbroken sequence, as in contiguous row houses. And then a synonym for everything is the word adjacent. Contiguously is an adverb, and contiguousness is a noun. And this is from the Latin verb contingere, which means to have contact with. And there's more at the word contingent. Maybe that's the one where I was reminded contingent. That hasn't happened yet. It's coming up in this episode. No, it's not. I'm looking ahead. It's in the next episode. Contingent. Okay. I don't know why I got so flustered about that. Okay, next word. Continence. Continence. It is a noun from the 14th century. We got a couple of things here. It's I think this is fine to talk about. It has to be fine because it's in the dictionary. Number 1, the synonym is self-restraint, but especially a refraining from sexual intercourse. So in this context, I used a word in this episode. In this context, when people use the word continence, they often mean refraining from sexual intercourse. And then, of course, there's that other word, abstinence. I guess they're similar but different. Maybe abstinence is the act of refraining, but then this one, if I look at the synonym self-restraint, maybe you have continence in that. Okay, yeah, I think it's something like that. And then number 2, for continence, it is the ability to retain a bodily discharge voluntarily. The ability to retain a bodily discharge voluntarily. So that's by choice. You can do it with your own brain. You can do it. You know what voluntarily means. As in the example, fecal continence. And that means you are able to hold in your poop inside of your body voluntarily, and you have that ability. That's continence. It doesn't say this, but the opposite is incontinence. So somebody who is incontinent means that they do not have the ability, and sometimes those bodily discharges just let themselves out on their own without control. The best example is pee. Somebody who's older, they may have lost the ability to hold in the pee, and it sometimes comes out. So that's incontinent. Maybe we will see something related to that shortly. Let's see. Okay, like the next word. Funny that my sound is wee, and we were talking about pee. Okay, the next word is continent. First form, adjective, from the 14th century. 1, exercising continence, the one that we were just talking about. Could be self-restraint, could be holding in bodily discharges. It's continent. It's holding it in. And number 2 is obsolete. It is the word restrictive. Restrictive. Continently is an adverb, And this is from the Latin verb contenere, which means to hold in. Hold in the pee, hold in the fecal matter. And then there's also more at the word contain. And, this is actually our last word, continent. That was the first form. I think I forgot to say that. Our second form of continent, wee. It is a continent again, and you can pronounce it either continent or continent. Somehow it went down to 2 syllables, and I can't say that with my mouth. Continent. Continent? Okay, something like that. This is a noun from 1541. Number 1 is archaic, and the synonyms are container and confines. I think it's confines and not confines. Number 2 is also archaic. It is the synonym epitome. It's the epitome. We'll learn about that when we get to the E's. 3, the synonym is mainland. 4a, one of the 6 or 7 great divisions of land on the globe. And then relatedly, 4b, this one would be capitalized, the continent of Europe. And that is used with the word the. The continent? All right, so this is what I got to say about that. So we've got North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, Antarctica. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, Australia. I knew there was a 7th one. But Europe and Asia are very, very much connected, and for some reason they consider them separate continents, so much so that there is a whole other definition which is just talking about the continent of Europe. And it even has it has the word the before it, the continent. I'm so fascinated by that. Yeah, I've always thought it was weird that Europe, which is a relatively small landmass area, but has this huge border with the rest of the Asian landmass. I just always thought it was interesting that was considered its own continent. Right? It is, right? Am I mistaken in that? I think I'm right. I like questioning everything after I say it. So I just thought that was funny. Anyway, continent. Everybody lives on a continent. Okay, let's read the words. We had contest, contestant, contestation, context, context-free, contextualize, contexture, contiguity, contiguous, continents, and continent. I am going to pick context as the word of the episode because, like I said, I think it is very important to give context wherever you can. Don't assume that people know what is going on in your brain if you're communicating with them. Give some context. And if you watch an older movie and you're like, what's so great about it? Maybe learn up on the context of why people say it's great. And it's not going to change your mind necessarily, but at least you'll appreciate it a little bit more. Okay, let's talk about the holidays for today, January 12th. Oh, today would have been my grandma's birthday. Okay, so holidays. Tunisia has Children's Day. Puerto Rico has... Is this the right... Nope, I didn't update this page. You're like, Spencer, Tunisia had Children's Day yesterday. You are correct. I am wrong. In Turkmenistan, it is Memorial Day. In India, it is National Youth Day. In Russia, it is Prosecutor General's Day. In Tanzania, it is Zanzibar Revolution Day. In where? In US, Canada, the UK, it is Kiss a Ginger Day. And of course, that is talking about people with red hair. So go kiss them, but you need some consent. Fun holidays, it is Curried Chicken Day. It is Feast of Fabulous Wild Men Day. That sounds interesting. National Hot Tea Day. Make some hot tea. National Marzipan Day. If you don't know what marzipan is, it is a sweet treat made from almonds. It has a very interesting flavor. that's very much an almondy. I don't know. It doesn't taste like almonds, but things that are made from almonds have that flavor. So yeah, not everybody loves it. But the interesting thing about it is that for some reason, maybe because of the consistency, people make things out of it. It's like clay with colors and shapes. They like literally will make little sculptures out of marzipan, which I think is kind of fun. It's National Pharmacist Day. I went to a pharmacy today and I saw some pharmacists because I got my COVID booster. So thank you, pharmacists, for doing that. That is a hard word to say, pharmacist, especially if it's plural, pharmacists. It is Stick to Your New Year's Resolution Day. Work Harder Day. Maybe work harder on your New Year's resolution. Let's see, I'm just scanning through this. The National Youth Day, that was the other one. I think it's in some other places. So, we did it. We finished this episode. I talked a lot about context. I hope you enjoyed it. This has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the Dictionary Podcast. It's not called the Dictionary Podcast. It's just called The Dictionary. And I am very grateful for you who turned it on to listen. What context do you listen to this in? Is it in your earbuds, your headphones? Do you listen to it in the car, by yourself, with your family? Do you have a store where this is just playing in the background? I don't know. So many different ways to listen to this. Okay, let's talk about the words. The first word is the first form of continental, Continental, adjective from 1755. 1A, of, relating to, or characteristic of a continent. The stuff that we talked about in the last episode. The big land masses, as in continental waters. And then specifically, and this one would be often capitalized, of or relating to the continent of Europe, excluding the British Isles. Sorry, British Isles, you're getting excluded from the continent. I need to find more information on why it's called the continent. And then 1B is often capitalized, of, relating to, or being a cuisine derived from the classic dishes of Europe and especially France. Continental food. So fancy, I think. 2A is often capitalized, of or relating to the colonies later forming the U.S., as in Continental Congress. The colonies made a Congress, and it was called the Continental Congress. That's what I'm gathering from this. And then they became the states that formed the United States of America. 2B, being the part of the U.S. of the North American continent. Also, being the part of the U.S. comprising the lower 48 states. Continentally is an adverb. Okay, what is my sound effect? I think it's burp. It's not meant to be a burp sound. It's just a very low, weird sound. Burp. That sounds too much like a burp. Whatever, it's fine. It is the second form of continental, noun from 1777, and I just realized I forgot to sing a song about context. How did I do that? I forgot. Maybe I'll do 2 songs later this episode. Okay, second form of continental, noun from 1777. 1A is often capitalized. An American soldier of the Revolution in the Continental Army. And that would be, back to the last one, the 48 states. 1B1, a piece of continental paper currency. Is that also related to America? The continental paper currency? Is that what it's called? 1B2, the least bit. That is the whole definition, the least bit. As in the example, not worth a continental. I feel like that would be connected to this paper currency thing, but I have never heard of this before. That was interesting. Number 2, an inhabitant of a continent, and especially the continent of Europe. Again, what's with Europe being called the continent? Moving on. It is continental breakfast. 2 words, noun from 1896, and the C is often capitalized. It is a light breakfast. That's literally the whole definition except for an example, which is as of rolls or toast and coffee. If you go to a hotel, you may get a continental breakfast, and it's usually, I think it's included in the price, and you get a handful of things that you can eat. It's usually nothing too fancy, too great. Maybe if you're lucky, they have a waffle maker, but that's pretty rare. But yeah, it's usually bread, toast, coffee, maybe some cereals, maybe some yogurt, probably some fruit. Muffins, bagels, they may have things like that too, but mostly it's usually just a small little breakfast thing. Next word is continental drift. 2 words, noun from 1926. A slow movement of the continents on a deep-seated viscous zone within the earth. Compare to plate tectonics. So this has been happening for many, many, many years, millions and billions of years. There are the tectonic plates on the earth, and they move. And with that, the continents move. You probably have heard of Pangea, which is when all of the land masses were all together in one big landmass. I think it was called Pangea. And then over the years, as the tectonic plates have moved, then the continents have moved, and they have landed where they are now, but they are still moving. Literally, they are still moving. Each country, each landmass moves a little bit every year because the plate tectonics are moving. So this is called continental drift. I remember that show. They just brought The Wonder Years. I think it was the Wonder Years show when I was a kid in the 80s. It was a show about a family in the 50s, 60s, and in their classroom, probably junior high or high school classroom, the science teacher was playing a movie, and at the time, they said, the continents are moving, and we think in another, I don't know what it said, 50 years, million years, whatever it was, it might look like this. And it was just a picture of a dog. It said the continents are going to look like a dog. And that's a pretty funny thought because their chances are pretty good that the continents are never going to look like something real, something actual, something, very obvious. I could talk more about this. In Iceland, Iceland is on two tectonic plates, and so the continental drift is literally pushing the country apart in the middle-ish area. There's a whole big chasm that's being created. It's being pulled apart in 2 different directions. Okay, we're going to move on to continental shelf. 2 words, noun from 1892. A shallow submarine plain of varying width, width, forming a border to a continent and typically ending in a comparatively steep slope to the deep ocean floor. There is a picture of this continental shelf. So let's see. So we're looking at the shore and water from the side view. Let's see. On the left side is the landmass. There's some mountains, and then the shore. It starts to go down into the right. That's where it's Then there's water, and that's where the water happens. So we have some things to point out. There's 5 things. Number 1 is the seashore. It's the shore of the land right before you get to the water. Number 2 is the actual continental shelf, and so this is a part where it's underwater, and it's relatively flat. It's going down, it's sloping down a bit, but it's not too sudden. But then it's the continental shelf, because right after that is number 3, which is the continental slope, and right there it slopes down real fast. It goes much deeper into the water, so you got to be careful about the edge of the continental shelf. Watch out for the continental slope. After that, it starts to level out again. And every shore, every place where water and land meet, it's all going to be different. But this is common enough where these things have names, and you'll probably find it a lot around the world. So 4 is the abyssal plain. So this is after number 3. The land has sort of flattened out again, and it's like a plain, like a plain of grass on the land, but it's underwater. And it's the abyssal plain. There's that movie, The Abyss, which is, it's just a thing that's like way down deep and big, and I don't even know what the actual definition of abyss is. Maybe I should go back and listen to my own episode where I said that. It's the abyssal plain, probably because it's pretty deep, I would assume. And then finally we have number 5, which is called sea mount, SEA, mount, one word, and it just looks like a little maybe hill, little something in the abyssal plain that just sticks up. It's a patch of land that sticks out of the plain. That's what it is. Okay. Well, so number 3 from that thing was the continental slope. That is our next word. Noun from 1900. The comparatively steep slope from a continental shelf to the ocean floor. I probably should have read that before I described the picture, but that's not how it happened. Next word is contingents. Noun from circa 1530. 1. The synonym is contingency, which is our next word. And 2. The synonym is tangency. 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 It's like going on a tangent. Next word is contingency. Noun from 1561. 1. The quality or state of being contingent. 2. A contingent event or condition, as 2A, an event, as an emergency, that may but is not certain to occur. A contingent event or condition. And the example, the subdefinition, an event that may happen, but it's not certain to happen. So yes, we're contingency. I'm trying to quickly think of more words to say about this. Something may happen like an emergency, so you got to have a contingency plan just in case this thing happens. What are we going to do in case it happens? Is that a good way to say that? Okay. Then we have 2B. Oh no, there's an example. Trying to provide for every contingency. So many different options could happen. Okay, 2B, something liable to happen as an adjunct to or result of something else. And a synonym for all is juncture. Next word is contingency fee. 2 words, noun from 1905. A fee for services, as of a lawyer, paid upon successful completion of the services and usually calculated as a percentage of the gain realized for the client. And this is called also contingent fee. So let me see if I understand this. A lawyer is going to help somebody out, and if the person wins and they're going to win money, let's say they win $1 million, then the lawyer will get the contingency fee. If this contingency happens, if this thing happens, if they win the money, then maybe the lawyer will take 5%, 10%, I don't know, whatever percent that is. I don't know, it's normal. So then they would make some pretty good money in that case. Next word is contingency table. 2 words, noun from 1904. A table of data, or data, in which the row entries tabulate the data according to one variable and the column entries tabulated according to another variable, and which is used especially in the study of the correlation between variables. So the rows tabulated one way, the columns tabulated another way, and then you can have a party with all your data. Next and last word is both forms of the word contingent. contingent. First form, adjective from the 14th century. 1. Likely, but not certain to happen. Synonym is possible. 2. Not logically necessary, and especially the synonym empirical. Not logically necessary. Interesting. 3a, happening by chance or unforeseen causes. 3b, subject to chance or unseen effects, and the synonym is unpredictable. Many events and things are unpredictable, and you don't know if they're going to happen or not, so they are contingent. 3c, intended for use in circumstances not completely foreseen. I think you can probably see a pattern in all of this. 4, dependent on or conditioned by something else, as in the example, payment is contingent on fulfillment of certain conditions. And that, of course, is a very good example, another way to say, to talk about contingency fee. That's connected. Payment is contingent on fulfillment of certain conditions. If certain conditions happened, like the person winning their legal case, then there will be some payment. 5, not necessitated, determined by free choice. 2 portions of the same definition. Not necessitated, and also determined by free choice. A synonym for all is the word accidental, and contingently is an adverb. The etymology says this is from Latin, the verb contingere. I feel like we've seen this before. It means to have contact with or befall. From tangere, which means to touch, and there's more at the word tangent. Last word is the second form of contingent, noun from 1548. 1. Something contingent. Synonym is contingency. And 2. A representative group. Synonyms are delegation and detachment, as in a diplomatic contingent. So those were all the words. They were continental, continental breakfast, continental drift, continental shelf, continental slope, contingents, contingency, contingency fee, contingency table, and contingent. Well, I think I'm just going to pick continental breakfast as the word of the episode because it has to do with food, and I like food, and it helps me live and survive. So now I maybe need to sing 2 songs for context and continental breakfast. Let's see. Ooh, okay. What is the context of your continental breakfast? Those sort of rhymed. What would the context be of your breakfast? Is the context of the hotel? I'm not feeling motivated to put this much energy into that. I love me some continental breakfast because I get some food, but often I can't eat anything because it's not vegan. Maybe I'll have some dry toast. There's no melody to that whatsoever. All right, let's read the holidays. And, okay. Here is the first one. In Mongolia, it is Constitution Day. In Cape Verde, it is Democracy Day. In Togo, it is Liberation Day. In lots of places, Russia, Belarus, Ukraine, Serbia, Montenegro, Republic of Srpska, North Macedonia, it is Old New Year's Eve. So maybe New Year's Eve used to happen 13, 14 days later than it does now. And then relatedly, in Ukraine, Russia, and Belarus, it is Malanka. Let's see. It is the sidereal winter solstice. There's celebrations for that. Let's see. Lots of South and Southeast Asian cultures, it's saying. Relatedly, it is Bogi in Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. It is Lori in Punjab, Haryana, and Himachal Pradesh, and Uruka in Assam. It is Stephen Foster Memorial Day in the U.S. I don't know who he was. Sorry. In Berbers, it is Yenayer. And we're checking this page now. Okay, Day of Russian Press in Russia. It is the iHeartRadio Music Awards. That's the thing that's happening. It is also in the Fun Holidays page, Healthy Weight, Healthy Look Day. Korean American Day. Make Your Dream Come True Day. National Peach Melba Day. Shows a picture of what I assume is a peach melba. It looks like it's got some peaches and maybe ice cream and whipped cream and a cherry. National Rubber Ducky Day. National Sticker Day. Public Radio Broadcasting Day. And we will check one more page just in case we didn't miss anything. National Gluten-Free Day. So go gluten-free today if you want. Yep, that's it. That's all the stuff. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. I am Spencer. I am your host. I'm the one who is reading this book and telling you my thoughts on the things that I read. I have to twist my microphone around because the cable is all twisted. This episode is going to be an experiment. I'm very low energy because I just got my booster, my COVID booster yesterday. And, I mentioned that before, but today is the next day. And typically this is when people start to really feel a bit blah. And that's kind of what I'm feeling. Didn't sleep great. This is probably not a good idea to record an episode of your podcast when you're not feeling great. But I was just curious, it's a way to record this moment in history for myself. It's very selfish of me. Hopefully it won't be too bad. All right. Let's read the words. The first one is the word continual. Continual. Adjective from the 14th century. And I forgot to figure out a sound effect. I'll say broop boop. Okay, number 1, continuing indefinitely in time without interruption, as in continual fear. That is not a state that I would like to be in. Fear that's indefinite in time without interruption? No, that's not fun. Number 2, recurring in steady, usually rapid succession, as in a history of continual invasions. Also, not cool. Continually is an adverb, and the etymology says it is from the Latin continuus, which means continuous. And there is synonym information. Continual, continuous, constant, incessant, perpetual, and perennial mean characterized by continued occurrence or recurrence. Continued occurrence or recurrence. So it's constantly occurring or constantly recurring, coming back. Continual often implies a close prolonged succession or recurrence, as in continual showers the whole weekend. If you love rain, that sounds pretty good to you. Continuous usually implies an uninterrupted flow or spatial extension, as in football's oldest continuous rivalry. Which one is that? Is it Army versus Navy? Is it, what are we talking about here? Football. Football in general. Could be college. Could be professional. There's so many. The Bears versus Green Bay. That's mine. Okay, the word constant implies uniform or persistent occurrence or recurrence, as in lived in constant pain. Ugh. Incessant implies ceaseless or uninterrupted activity, as in annoyed by the incessant quarreling. That's also not fun. Perpetual suggests unfailing repetition or lasting duration, as in a land of perpetual snowfall. It's probably in the north. There's not a whole lot of land masses in the south other than Antarctica. So it's probably in the north somewhere. And perennial implies enduring existence, often through constant renewal, as in a perennial source of controversy. And I forgot my sound effect. What did I do? Hew. I don't think that's what I did. Okay, the next word is continuance. Noun from the 14th century. 1. The synonym is continuation. 2. The extent of continuing, and the synonym is duration. 3. The quality of enduring, and the synonym is permanence. 4. An adjournment of a court case to a future day. An adjournment, there's an N in there. An adjournment of a court case to a future day. Yes, you go. I actually had to do this. When I was I had just graduated high school. I was backing up out of a driveway to do a turn on a street, and I accidentally hit a car. Luckily, we weren't going very fast, and so it was fairly minor, but I had a court date. I had to go to the court date, and it happened. It was bad. I don't remember the details. It was bad timing, and my grandpa, who was a lawyer, went and asked for a continuance so we could do it another time, and then that happened. That's my one connection to a continuance, and I hope I never have to go through that again. I was definitely at fault in that situation. Hew. Next word, continuant. Noun from 1861. 1. Something that continues or serves as a continuation. 2. A speech sound, as a fricative or vowel, that is produced without a complete closure of the breath passage, and compared to the word stop. So the stop one is probably an antonym. It's the opposite. And continuant, it's just keeps on going. I would love an example. And continuant is an adjective. Hew. I'm definitely sure that this sound effect is changing every time. I'll try to keep it consistent, maybe. Okay, next word is continuit or continuate. It doesn't say, but it is an adjective from 1555. It is obsolete. The synonyms are continuous and uninterrupted. I should do an episode where I should have been this one, where I'm just constantly reading, no stops, nothing, and that would have been a terrible, terrible episode. Hew. Next word is continuation. Noun from the 14th century. 1. The act or fact of continuing in or the prolongation of a state or activity. 2. Resumption after an interruption. You are resuming after you were interrupted. But resumption is a fun word. And 3, something that continues, increases, or adds. Continuation. Hew. Next word is continuative. Or, let's see, you could say continuative, continuative, I think is fine. There's a few ways to say it. Adjective from 1684, expressing continuity or continuation, as of an idea or action. Heyo. Next word is continuator. Noun from 1646. It's just one that continues. So a person or a thing or anything that is continuing, in whatever way that means, they are the continuator. I'm going to be a continuator right now. Move on to the next word. Heyo. It is the word continue. Verb from the 14th century. Got a pretty good amount to read for this one. Let's see. We are starting with intransitive. 1. To maintain without interruption a condition. What? To maintain without interruption a condition, course, or action. As in, the boat continued downstream. It did not stop downstream. Just kept on going, and then they lost the boat. Now, I don't know how that story ends. Number 2. To remain in existence, and the synonym is endure, as in, the tradition continues. The tradition remains to be in existence. 3. To remain in a place or condition, synonym is stay, as in, cannot continue here much longer. Why not? We have to leave? Okay, let's go. Number 4, to resume an activity after interruption, as in, will continue after lunch. I got nothing to say about that. Okay, moving on to transitive. 1A, synonyms are keep up and maintain, as in, continues walking. 1B, to keep going or add to, synonym is prolong, as in, continue the battle. I think everybody's pretty tired, and they would not like to continue the battle. And then also, to resume after intermission. Number 2, to cause to continue. To cause to continue, as in, chose not to continue her subscription. To cause, she chose not to continue it. Okay, number 3, to allow to remain in a place or condition. Synonym is retain, as in, the trustees were continued. 4, to postpone a legal proceeding by a continuance. We talked about that before. Continuer is a noun. Let's see. Yep, that's good. And then we have some synonym information. Continue, last, endure, abide, and persist mean to exist over a period of time or indefinitely. Continue applies to a process going on without ending, as in, the search for peace will continue. I will not stop searching for that myself. The word last, especially when unqualified, may stress existing beyond what is normal or expected, as in, buy shoes that will last. Yeah, you don't want to buy crap. You don't want to buy something that's cheap, because then you're just going to have to replace it, and then you're going to end up spending the same amount of money or more money. So yeah, buy shoes and clothes and things that last. Endure adds an implication of resisting destructive forces or agencies. Endure adds an implication of resisting destructive forces or agencies, as in spite of everything, her faith endured. Abide implies stable and constant existing, especially as opposed to mutability, as in a love that abides through 40 years of marriage. And persist suggests outlasting the normal or appointed time and often connotes obstinacy or doggedness, as in the sense of guilt persisted. Well, maybe you shouldn't have done that thing that made you feel guilty. Okay, we have one more word. It is the word continued. It's continue with a D at the end. It is an adjective from the 15th century. 1, lasting or extending without interruption, as in continued success. And number 2, resumed after interruption, as in a continued story. Is it the never-ending story? Okay, so the words today were continual, continuance, continuant, continuate, continuation, continuative, continuator, continue, and continued. Well, maybe I will pick continue as the word of the episode, just because it's the one that's the base for all of the ones in this episode, and a bit into tomorrow's episode as well. I'm going to continue this podcast, and you can't stop me. All right, let's read the holidays. Uzbekistan has Defender of the Motherland Day. In medieval Christianity, are there people still celebrating medieval Christianity? Celebrating was not the right word there, but still following it? Their holiday today is Feast of the Ass, and I assume that's a donkey. In Georgia, it is Flag Day. In Thailand, it is National Forest Conservation Day. You got to do it right, though. Let's see, it's Old New Year. I feel like, yesterday, didn't we have Old New Year's Eve or something? And relatedly to Old New Year in Abkhazia, it is Azerinyakua. I do not know how to say that word. There's lots and lots of consonants. And then also relatedly to Old New Year in Berbers, it is Yenayer. In the U.S., it is Ratification Day. In Tunisia, it is Revolution and Youth Day. It is the sidereal winter solstice celebrations. Let's see. I think, we mentioned that yesterday. There's more. In Assam, it is Mag Bihu. In Nepal, it is Mag Sankranti. In Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, it is Magi. I don't think I have to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. I am mispronouncing everything, and I apologize. I'm trying. In India, it is Makar Sankranti. It is the first day of Pongal in Tamil Nadu. In Uttarakhand and Gujarat and Rajasthan, it is Uttarayan. And in the UNESCO, that's some sort of group, it is World Logic Day. So use some logic. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to check the fun holidays. Caesarean Section Day. Why is today Caesarean Section Day? I'm sure there's a reason. This shows a picture of a statue. Maybe the statue was named Caesarean. There's a story there. Go look it up if you want. International Kite Day. National Dress Up Your Pet Day. There are some people who dress up their pet every day. National Hot Pastrami Sandwich Day. In the UK, it is National Pothole Day. It's Organize Your Home Day. Go do it. A lot of you need it, is my opinion. Let's see. Take a Missionary to Lunch Day. And then let's check this last page. I think we got them all. Yes, we did. Okay. I'm going to go rest because I want to. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.